Baseball from the Murph. They've won 12 in a row. The Atlanta Braves, that's right, they can jump up and do anything. They're playing the San Diego Padres. It's the Platters. Twilight time in San Diego. John and Joe.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. For more than a decade, your home for the Major League Baseball Game of the Week.
$1999, the Braves' year to tie it all together and cement their claim as being baseball's team of the 90s. But with several cruel twists of fate, injuries and illness left Atlanta shorthanded. Despite their many problems in taking the biggest prize in October, Atlanta is always there. Sure enough, in the 2000 season, the Braves are on top again. The goal is simple, a championship, nothing less. For the team that came up just a bit short so many times in the 90s, the resolve, again, is to lay to rest the ghosts of postseasons past. Looking at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. It's a beautiful night in Southern California. Welcome to Sunday Night Baseball. It's the Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller, and welcome to our telecast, our 11th year of Sunday Night Baseball. And tonight, we get the red-hot Braves, and all through our tenure here on Sundays, it seems like the Braves are always at or near the top. They've won 12 in a row. They've got T.Glavine, who's been hot going tonight. And, of course, the big cat, Andres Galarraga, is back in the lineup, and he is extremely hot. He's hit 10 home runs to lead the league, including a home run in the 7th inning Friday here that put the Braves ahead in a ball game that they would win. And then a home run in the 8th inning last night, a 3-run bomb. They were down 4-1. That tied the ball game, and they went on to win it in 12. Andres Galarraga visiting with Joe Morgan before today's game.
Andres, a year ago, you weren't sure if you'd ever play this game again. Now, here you are, the best player on the best team in the league. Are you surprised?
Yeah, kind of surprised. Thanks God, thanks the beach and all the people that praying for me. So, and the way I'm feeling from the first day of spring training, hit the ball well, feel my timing right away. First day, I hit against the pitches, start see the slide and all that, start swing. So the one I play spring training, so I'm feeling really good, really comfortable. I mean, my back, no pain, nothing. So after that, so I'm just keeping going, ready for the season. So I'm glad to start that way.
Well, John, I have to tell you, I'm a little surprised because I felt like the toughest thing to do is to sit out for a whole year and still be able to pick up the rotation on the ball, be able to find the release points from the pitchers. He's been able to do that very quickly. I expected him to do well middle of the season and from there on, but he got off to a great start, and he's tremendous.
Hey, I agree with John Sherholtz, the Braves GM. It's a miracle. Now, Sherholtz pulled off a big trade with the Padres during the offseason. 6 players all told. Ryan Klesko and Brett Boone went from the Braves here to San Diego. They go against their old mate, T.Glavine tonight.
Well, I thought the Braves were just tweaking. They needed some speed at the top of their lineup, and they got that in Q.Veras and Sanders. What the Padres needed was some power in their lineup. They've got Klesko and Brett Boone. I think it's been a great trade for both, and both teams are benefiting from it.
All right, so the Braves are trying to make it 13 in a row here tonight with T.Glavine, who's so hot, up against Sterling Hitchcock. We'll see Chipper Jones, the big cat. Also, B.Jordan, he's back in the lineup. The Braves on a roll. Stay tuned.
Back nine ain't showing Roger a whole lot of love. Better call in the dog. If your ball is hanging in the rough and holding out seems mighty tough. Shh. He's got the balls and sticks and shoes to erase those triple bogey blues. Fogdog.com, the athlete's toy store, and a lot more, baby. Fog Dog. That dog's got bite. Count.
Once there were 2 men.
And these
two men made a promise to the world.
The things that you hold dear, they said,
are the treasures of our lives, too.
The hope you carry for your family
is the hope we carry for ours.
The dreams you dream for the future
inspire us as well.
And we promise that these things,
which are more valuable than gold or silver,
these things will stay with us every second of every day.
They shall be reflected in everything we think
and in everything we do.
And we promise that we will never, ever forget what it means to be alive.
In 1927, Gustav Larsen
Nassau Gabrielson
made a promise to the world.
A promise called Volvo.
With Culligan soft water. Some people don't. Culligan is water.
Does your family's water need a clean bill of health? Find out at Culligan.com.
Hi, I am Sammy Sosa, and I am asking people to step up to the plate and take the Pepsi challenge.
I've been a lifelong Coke drinker.
Definitely Coke. See which one tastes better.
That one?
That one.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke.
I'll take the Pepsi. I guess I'll have to go with Pepsi.
Welcome to the family. I'm having a great day.
So take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is presented by Gum Out. Drive your fuel system clean with a complete line of Gum Out Performance Fuel Additives. And in part by FogDog.com, your anytime, anywhere online sports store.
Here in San Diego, all roads lead to Qualcomm Stadium during the baseball season. They're expecting a crowd of around 40,000 for tonight's game. There's Bobby Cox, the manager of the Braves. His tenure, by the way, with the Braves, he is the second leader among all managers in terms of tenure with their current ball club. Only Tom Kelly of the Twins has been with his club longer than has Cox been with the Braves. Here's the Pepsi Braves batting order. Q.Veras at second base. Andrew Jones, center field. He won the game last night in the 12th inning with a home run. And Chipper Jones, last year's MVP, who's hit Sterling Hitchcock well at third base. Andres Galarraga leading the league with 10 homers at first. Brian Jordan is in right field. J.López, the catcher. Trinidad Hubbard in left field. R.Furcal at shortstop. More on him later. He's a sensational young talent. T.Glavine, the pitcher, bats ninth. And on the mound for the Padres, he was a Braves killer in the League Championship Series just 2 years ago. Sterling Hitchcock.
And John Sterling has a good fastball, curveball, slider, change. He has all the pitches, but he has not been able to win this year. You see a high 5.04 earned run average, but going back to last year, he's 1-8 in his last 9 decisions, and the team has won 2 games and lost 11 during that time of his start. But he has good stuff, and he has been very tough on the Braves. Now let's take a look at the defense. Up the middle is very good. Damian Jackson at shortstop and Brett Boone at second base. 2 very good middle infielders. And you see DeHaan in right field. He replaces Tony Gwynn, who was put on disabled list today. There's Brett Boone. Very good at turning a double play. And Damian Jackson has put on some weight. Now he adds a little more offense to his defense.
The umpiring alignment, Bruce Fremming, the veteran umpire behind the plate. Mike Winters at first base. Field and Culbreth at second, and Bill Welke is at third base. And the Braves are coming up now with Q.Veras, who, of course, was a great favorite here in San Diego. He was the igniter in the Padres batting order. But with the feeling that they needed a little more punch in the lineup, he was part of that big trade, along with Reggie Sanders and Wally Joyner going to Atlanta. And the 2 biggest names acquired in the deal by the Padres, of course, Brett Boone and Ryan Klesko. So here is Q.Veras, and he's off to a very fine start with his new ball club, hitting .313 with a .398 on base average. First ball swinging, and that's a foul. And Joe, we should expect to see that cut fastball in the hands of right-handed hitters a lot from Hitchcock.
Well, Hitchcock likes to pitch inside, and then he'll throw a changeup, a curveball, and he tails the ball away. He has all the weapons. He just doesn't have anything that's overpowering. He has a good fastball, but he doesn't have a great fastball.
He also throw a split-fingered pitch.
Right.
As the breaking ball misses down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, it's interesting shadows that they have there, John. You can see the pitchers in the shadows and then the hitters in the shadow, but the outfield is completely in the sunshine.
Battling the sunshine, getting a late break. The center fielder Owens, and he does not get there. The right fielder Gahan made a dive for it. So it's a base hit for Q.Veras. The ball, I don't know, must have been lost in the sun there for a moment, because it took Eric Owens a long time to react to it.
Well, you see, he doesn't start in immediately. Now here he comes. But as you mentioned, it was in no man's land there. It's pretty short, but if he would have gotten a good jump on it, he may have had a chance. But he started back first and hesitated. But again, the sun is right in their eyes in the outfield right about now.
And that's what they're having to look into right now in this very large ballpark. The sun laying low over the top rim of the stadium right now. Andrew Jones, the hitter, as Q.Veras gets back to the bag. Veras, who not so long ago won the National League stolen base crown while with the Florida Marlins. He's gotten 5 steals to lead the Braves so far this year. Andrew Jones, the game-winning home run last night in the 12th inning, a 3-run shot.
John, the big thing for Andrew has been the fact that he's now hitting second in the batting order. They had Reggie Sanders up there at the beginning of the season to add some more speed with Veras, when they acquired him from San Diego. But it appears now that Andrew Jones is going to be the second place hitter, and he's really hit well in that position. And Bobby Cox is happy with the alignment he has now.
0-1 to Andrew Jones. Back to the bag goes Q.Veras. Reggie Sanders not in the lineup tonight for Atlanta because he twisted his ankle last night. He'll be out for maybe a couple of days. He actually got a double that was lost in the twilight last night by Eric Owens. It's too high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One of the reasons that Andrew had not hit high in the order was because he didn't walk a lot and his patience. But now he's second on the Braves with 12 walks this season. So he's been more patient. And I think that's just coming with maturity. He's becoming a more patient hitter every year.
It's easy to forget just how young he is.
Right.
Andrew Jones just turned 23 3 days ago. It seems like he must be in his early 30s by now. He's been around a long time. 2-1 the count to Andrew Jones.
And it may sound strange, but he's also under a new hitting instructor. He learned something from Don Baylor last year that helped him. Now he's getting another philosophy from Merv Redmond. And I think the more hitting instructors you have a chance to talk to, the better off you are.
Sharply to third, could be 2. Nevin to second and 1. The relay to first. Double play. Nevin to Boone to Klesko. Andrew Jones hits into a pair. 2 down.
Well, we talked about how good a double play man Brett Boone is. He really doesn't get a lot on this throw. Nice play by Nevin. He gives him a good throw at second base. Now Boone gets rid of it, but he doesn't fire it. And Andrew Jones out by half a step, but he knew he had a little time.
I think they were less than half a step.
Yeah, it was close at first base.
It was like 1/64th of a step, I thought. Back to the screen. 0-1 the count to Chipper Jones. You see the speed posted of the pitch thrown by Hitchcock, as well as the speed through the hitting zone of the bat of Chipper Jones, National League MVP. The curveball too low. Chipper so far this year hitting .310, 5 homers, 18 driven in. The numbers last year, and he was particularly strong late in games and particularly late in tight games. Last year, Chipper Jones, in what are defined as late inning pressure situations, hit .456, the best in those kinds of situations with the game on the line in the major leagues. Of course, with Don Baylor, the hitting instructor last year, he became a real threat for the first time in his career as a right-handed hitter.
Let me emphasize the point I was making about Baylor brought in, a philosophy that I think really helped Chipper. He helped Andrew Jones. I think he helped a lot of the hitters. And you get you get a philosophy from Don on how to help yourself in certain situations. And now you have a guy like Merv Retman who comes in, who is a completely different type of a hitting instructor. Merv was never a power hitter. Don was a power hitter, and Merv was a guy to hit the ball the other way. And he's been working with Andrew to hit the ball the other way. And so you get two different philosophies, and as a hitter, you take some of both, and it works in, and it helps make you a better hitter.
Oh, there's the changeup, and that is the inning. So a strong beginning for Sterling Hitchcock. T.Glavine takes the hill.
Think something that small can't hurt your car? Even smaller carbon deposits can clog your car's fuel injectors. So use Gum Out Extra Fuel Injector Cleaner to get rid of deposits for smoother overall performance. And did I mention better acceleration?
Drive your fuel injectors clean with Gum Out Extra.
Have you ever seen, if you think you know fear, if you think you face pain, if you think you've seen evil, get ready to go. Cyclone. Battlefield Earth.
Stupid humans.
PG-13. Starts Friday, May 12th at a theater near you.
When people perform together, extraordinary things can happen. Come see how the 40,000 people of U.S. Airways are reorchestrating an airline around our customers. Because we know that your performance could be riding on ours.
Excuse me. You forgot your music.
Thank you.
Just playing my part.
U.S. Airways. Come visit us.
Sunday night baseball from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. Braves nothing. And the Padres coming up. Bruce Bochy, in his 6th year as the manager of the Padres, and just signed a new contract extension. He should be around here for a long, long while. And extremely popular here. He's led the Padres to the postseason 2 times. Here's the Pepsi batting order. Al Martin, left field. Damian Jackson, shortstop. Eric Owens, center field. All 3 of those guys can steal a base. And Owens has been wielding a hot bat for the year. Phil Nevin also has been hot with the power bat at third base. Ryan Klesko, the former Brave, at first. Brett Boone, the former Brave, at second. Carlos Hernandez back in the lineup. The catcher, Corey DeHaan, in right field instead of Gwynn, who's on the DL. And Sterling Hitchcock, the pitcher, bats 9th. And on the mound, the former Cy Young winner, and he's red hot in that Cy Young form right now, T.Glavine.
And John, Tom is off to a great start. Last year he got off to a rather slow start, but he finished up strongly, and he's pitching very well this year. You'll see a little different T.Glavine. Don't expect to see a big difference in that he will throw a cut fastball now to some right-handed hitters, but don't expect that to be his out pitch. He still will live toward the outside part of the plate and down, but every once in a while he will come inside with a cut fastball to keep the right-handed hitters honest.
Here's Al Martin, the former Pittsburgh Pirates outfielder. 0-1, so he's very aggressive against Glavine. Swinging at the very first pitch. He's hitting .330 with a .383 on base average. Martin, 4 homers, 7 runs batted in.
John, that is the philosophy of a lot of hitters against the Atlanta Braves staff. You know, it's to try to get something early in the count and hit it.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Because once they get ahead of you, they'll nibble a little bit more and get you to go out of the zone a little bit more. But nothing has seemed to work. You know, you see some hitters are very aggressive. Others are try to be patient against the Braves staff.
Right there in the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, when you see a guy like Maddox or a guy like Glavine pitch, one thing that you keep hearing from hitters is, and really from other admiring pitchers, is their ability to see everything that's going on and adjust right in the middle of a game.
I think Glavine probably adjusts less than Maddox does. Maddox, will adjust to what you're doing. Glavine says, I have a philosophy on pitching. I'm going to pitch my way. You have to adjust to what I'm doing. But I agree with you that they do know what's going on every pitch. They know if a hitter moves in the batter's box.
Right to second, Q.Veras. And Martin is retired, one away.
And let's take a look at the defense behind Glavine. They've got Andrew Jones in center field. Andrew, of course, the Gold Glove winner. A lot of people are saying that 2 of the spots are already sold up between he and Ken Griffey Jr. Take a look at this catch he made against the Dodgers on Tuesday. Devon White drills it. Here he comes, and he just gets underneath it. Nice play there by Andrew.
He's one of those guys who's so good that they just expect that from him now. Here is Damian Jackson. Jackson hitting .326. He's become so good that he won the shortstop job away from Chris Gomez. 0-1 the count to Jackson. He's got 2 homers, 8 batted in. Hitting has been pretty strong for the Padres up and down the lineup. They've struggled with their pitching. They're hitting .286 as a team. Andrew Jones. And he gets there. Made it look easy in deep right center field, out number 2.
The one thing that he and Ken Griffey Jr. both do is when the ball is hit, they take off immediately. Then you will see them slow down. Very rarely do you see Ken Griffey Jr. glide to a ball. He gets there, and then he slows down, as Jones does there. He gets there under control and makes the catch. But their first move is sprinting toward the ball. And you see Andrew asking Brian Jordan, did you see the ball? Did you pick it up?
It's fierce sunshine that they're looking up into right now. Here is Eric Owens. Owens is hitting .370. 9th in the league for batting average at the start of the day. And like to kill Q.Veras again. And a quick, quiet inning for Tom Glavine. 3 up, 3 down. Andres Galarraga coming up when we return. No score in the game.
I'm not going to let my retirement growth potential get lost in the excitement of a new job.
These days, people are likely to change jobs 7 or 8 times. Unfortunately, many job changers don't take control of their 401ks and actively manage those assets.
Fidelity's Rollover Express, now online, is an easy way to take charge of your retirement plan savings with access to investment choices and funds with a history of solid performance. Just call 1-800-FIDELITY or visit fidelity.com.
Faster, more reliable, higher quality, more profitable. Nortown Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
I am looking for a house, for a duplex,
For a Cape Cod. I'm looking for a ranch. A colonial. I am looking for
I am looking for a place
on the coast.
In the mountains.
With a fenced yard.
close to the park where I can
be myself.
Everybody's looking for something different in a home. Now there's only one place they have to look. ColdwellBanker.com.
I am looking for a castle.
Right smack in the heart of God's country.
ColdwellBanker.com. When you need an address, try ours.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
Life has its bumps, but you don't have to feel them. Now Midas Gold struts with R2 technology are only $59.95 each with a lifetime guarantee. Go smoothly. Go Midas.
Sunday Night Baseball from San Diego, and now Andres Galarraga will come up. Galarraga, who has hit 10 home runs this year with 24 runs batted in. to lead the National League in home runs, and he's among the league leaders in RBIs.
Well, Barry Bonds hit his 10th today, John, to tie it.
So Bonds and the Big Cat tied. Broken bat. Nevin. And just like that, Galarraga is gone. Galarraga, who missed all of last year battling cancer, and Galarraga is already the oldest National Leaguer to hit 10 home runs in any month, much less his first month back, since Willie Mays hit 10 for the Giants in a month back in 1970 when Mays was 39. Jordan. 1 ball and no strikes facing Sterling Hitchcock here.
John, the interesting thing about Galarraga, as you see, Jordan is really struggling. And he had such a great season last year till he was injured. He's really struggling this year. But the great thing about Galarraga is it is just so difficult to sit out for a long period of time, a year, and then come back and be able to find the rotation on the ball, see which way the ball is moving, sinking, sliding, hitting off-speed pitches. And he has done it just quicker than anyone would ever think that he would. I remember Orlando Cepeda was out for a year, and he was a great hitter. And similar to Andres, he had a long swing, and he waited on the ball well. Well, what Cepeda did, it took him a little while to get adjusted. I mean, it takes a while. I figured, you know, maybe the second, third month of the season, you would see the old Andres Galarraga back, but he got off to a great start right away.
Left center field, that's going to be a base hit for Brian Jordan, and he's going to try to stretch it into 2. Owens throws, not in time. Well, you talked to Galarraga before the ball game, and you talked to him about the very thing that you're talking to us about. Here's what he said.
My time is right there from like nothing happened, like I'm not losing any time in the game. So I don't know if it's kind of natural or the way Baylor and me, we've been working for a lot of years to find this timing, to find that position, to see the ball with both sides, to keep him focused, to use the ball, to use him all the field, to know. I mean, I don't even try home run. I just try to make a hard contact somewhere. And when I hit a home run happen, I have the power. So that's kind of thing working when you put them together.
And the ball hit by Lopez, a broken bat, right back at Hitchcock. He throws out Lopez as Jordan moves over to third base. Out number 2.
John, when he comes up next time, I'd like to try to show you what he said there. He said, seeing the ball with 2 eyes. He and Don Baylor has worked at this. You know, that seems like a natural thing to do, but when you're standing sideways in the batter's box, a lot of hitters really do not see the ball clearly with both eyes. You're either right eye dominant or left eye in a lot of cases. But what they've tried to do is turn their head completely toward the pitcher so he can see with both eyes. You see, most hitters really do not do that.
And you see the squared up stance here of Trinidad Hubbard. But when Galarraga's up there, I mean, his whole body really is facing the pitcher at the beginning.
And you have to remember, when the pitcher releases the ball, he's releasing it at an angle. So technically, you're watching the ball from an angle. And that's what he's trying to say, to see it with both eyes. When your head is turned and you're watching from an angle, you're really using one eye more than the other. You're looking with both eyes, but one eye has to be more dominant than the other.
Popped up. Out into the sunshine. This is DeHaan. And DeCatch to end the inning. 1 hit, 1 left. Phil Nevin, then Ryan Klesko and Brett Boone, the former Braves. No score.
Some people are always thinking, obsessed with finding better answers and solutions. For them, there's Office.com, the new internet workplace with the tools and resources business people need most.
Anything else?
Relish. I need relish.
Office.com, the new way to work. A service from WinStar.
Dude.
Dude?
Dude?
Dude.
Dude.
Dudes.
Dude.
The new Ford Focus. Smooth ride, smooth price. At your Northwest Ford store.
Sea Ray and Merc Cruiser.
Hi, I'm Mike Trudeau. I'm Bill Trudeau, Trudeau's Sea Ray. And this month we're having our grand opening at our new facility on Hayden Island. Located right behind the Jansen Beach Shopping Center, we'll have 25 to 30 boats from 18 to 40 feet inside where it's warm like summer. And special grand opening pricing, so come in and see us at our brand new store on Hayden Island. At Trudeau's Sea Ray, your authorized Merc Cruiser dealer.
In the show. I was in the show for 21 days once. 21 greatest days of my life. You know you never handle your luggage in the show? Somebody else carries your bags. It's great. You hit white balls for batting practice. Ballparks are like cathedrals. The hotels all have room service, and the women all have long legs and brains.
Baseball Tonight, every night at 10 and midnight on ESPN.
Bill Pito in the studio as Gumout takes us to Cleveland for the Sox and the Indians. Bottom 7, Pedro Martinez. Minor Diaz knocked down. Top 8, first pitch. Charles Nagy hits Jose off, and this is an escalating situation. Then bottom 8, first pitch. Pedro hits Alomar. Thinks about it. Pedro would be ejected. He would get the win. Boston wins it 2-1.
Well, wait till Frank Robinson hears about this. Here is Phil Nevin, the cleanup man for the Padres, and he takes ball 1 from T.Glavine. Well, this is just a couple of days after Frank Robinson meted out some severe, real severe suspensions and fines and whatnot. Not that any of the suspensions that Frank gave out were without precedent, but I think, as somebody pointed out this weekend, it was that there were so many of them all at the same time. I mean, there have been guys who've been suspended for as many as 8 games, 5 games, but to have so many guys suspended all at once like that, you have to go back a ways. 3-0 to Nevin.
Well, John, I was actually surprised that the managers got suspended for so long. You know, that unless you feel like the manager asked one of his pitchers to hit a player. 8 games is a lot of games for a manager.
3-2. Also, though, not without precedent.
Yeah. No, like you said, none of it is. Everyone, they felt that wrath before, but it's just hard for me because I guess maybe because, again, I just think it's a long time personally for a manager to be out.
3-2 the count. Right over to first. Galarraga waves off Glavine, and Phil Nevin is retired. Getting a steady diet of pitches away there from T.Glavine. So now a couple of former Braves will take their shots against their old teammate. Ryan Klesko with Brett Boone right behind him. Now Klesko had gotten to the point in Atlanta where they just would not play him against most left-handers. He was a platoon player. He's had a little more opportunity to play against the lefties here in San Diego. He's 2 for 12 against left-handers so far this year.
Well, I would say if you're a left-handed hitter, Glavine is not the kind of guy that's going to bother you just because he's left-handed. He will bother you because he has good stuff and he knows how to pitch, because he comes pretty much straight over the top.
Right back to Glavine. 2 down.
And coming right over the top doesn't, you know, freeze you or cause you any problems if you're a left-handed hitter. But he has such good stuff, he's going to, you know, he still can get you out.
Number 29, Brett Boone.
5 in a row retired by Glavine to start the ball game. 4 have hit the ball on the ground, including 2 straight groundouts here in the batter, Brett Boone. Boone hitting .326 for his new club with 1 home run. He's striking. Now that he's here in San Diego, he allowed us how he really did not like hitting second in Atlanta last year. He just feels he's not well suited to being a second place hitter. Second place hitter's got to have some patience. He says he's just not patient.
He is a free swinger and he likes to be aggressive, and if you're a second place hitter and you swing at a lot of pitches up and out of the zone, or you want to be aggressive on the first pitch after the leadoff hitter's just made it out, you really aren't suited to be a second place hitter, and he knows that. So I think it works to have him deeper in the lineup.
And he's shown himself to be
A guy who can hit 20-plus home runs. He's got some pop, and he's sitting in more of an RBI spot in the lineup here for Bruce Bochy. Although we're seeing some guys hitting second who are also getting a lot of RBIs here lately. And the changeout for the strikeout. 6 in a row retired by T.Glavine. No score after 2.
Junior, how's it going?
Fine, how are you?
Got to see the glove.
For what?
I got to see it for regulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's an easier way to get Ken Griffey Jr.'s glove. Get the same Rawlings gloves that more top pros wear, personalized with your name, exclusively from DSports.com and Dick's Sporting Goods. DSports.com. Seize the D.
You know, that's the 3rd glove I've lost this week.
Until now, there has been a wall between you and the tools of serious trading. That wall is coming down. The information and technology professionals use to trade is now available to everyone. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
Flexible metal frame. Flex-On by Marchand.
Who's asking about Viagra? Someone you might expect, and also someone that maybe you wouldn't. In fact, you may be surprised at who's talking to their doctors about Viagra. So ask your doctor if a free trial of Viagra is right for you. Who's asking about Viagra? Maybe it should be you.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Flex-On, the flexible metal eyeglass frame. Flex-On by Marchand. And by Pfizer, where life is our life's work.
We're in San Diego. Sunday Night Baseball from Qualcomm Stadium. They're going to build a new ballpark here downtown, right near the Mission Bay. That should be quite a showplace when it opens. Hopefully we'll have a chance to show you some artists' computerized illustrations of that later on. But right now it's time to play ball. We're in the 3rd inning. No score. R.Furcal leads off for Atlanta. That was a close pitch. Pretty good-looking pitch, I thought, from Hitchcock. Called a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
And, of course, our good friend Bruce Framing is behind the plate. National League umpire in the past, now a Major League umpire.
Now, you got to be careful the way you put that. Pop fly, Brett Boone going out. And Furcal is gone for 1 away. Well, John Rocker playing his first series outside of Atlanta since coming back from the suspension, and he strolled out to the bullpen between innings. And I thought they never booed anybody here in San Diego, Joe. T.Glavine leads off, or is batting now with 1 out. He takes a called strike.
Glavine off to a good start with the bat, 333, but he has a lifetime average of around 200, and that's like an everyday player hitting 300. So he's always been a good hitter, but most of the Braves on this staff have been good hitters. Maddox, Smoltz, all these guys have been able to put the ball in play and help themselves over the course of a season.
0-2 the count from Hitchcock. And he misses with a slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Actually, Glavine last year, he struggled the first half of the season with his pitching and struggled all year with his hitting. He only hit 138 last year. Extremely disappointing. 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. With Q.Veras, the leadoff man, on deck. Greg Maddox, who is also off to a a very fine start. He's 4-0. Shortstop, Damian Jackson. And Q.Veras is gone. Number 2. Baseball coming up on Wednesday on ESPN. Wednesday night baseball at 7 Pacific time, 10 Eastern time. It will be these Atlanta Braves, led by Chipper Jones, up against the Los Angeles Dodgers from Dodger Stadium, and Greg Maddux will be going for his 5th win against L.A. Wednesday night, 7 Pacific. That's 10 Eastern time on ESPN.
Well, I think I'll drive down there because Greg Maddux may be pitching on Wednesday. I think I'll drive down and watch that game, John.
Well, he's already getting ready. He's already got the baseball. He's working on his grips. Strike 1 to Q.Veras.
Well, if he decides he's going to pitch, then I think I'll broadcast the game. How about that?
I think he's decided.
Okay.
He's in there.
I'll take off and start my drive.
I mean, if you need to leave early tonight, you just let me know. I know what a stickler you are for preparation. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's deep and foul by Q.Veras.
Well, you'll know something's wrong if I say I'll go get the coffee. If I leave to pick up the coffee.
Phil Rizzuto.
Yeah.
Oh, 7th inning, John. Oh, I gotta go. Gotta get to that game Wednesday. It's such a long drive from here. 2-2 now to Q.Veras. 2 down, nobody on. No score in the 3rd inning. The Dodgers completed a sweep of the Florida Marlins today behind Kevin Brown. They beat Alex Fernandez and that surprising young Florida ball club, which was off to a real strong start the first 3.5 weeks of the year. But Dodgers 7-1 today over the Marlins. 2-2 to Veras. And that is too low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Is it just me? There's not that many lefties that throw the split finger pitch.
Right. I agree. There's been some talk that the split finger hurts your shoulder or contributes to it.
And he walks Q.Veras.
And I think there are fewer left-handers in baseball, so I think that's one of the reasons that they just didn't start to throw it, and they weren't taught to throw it in the minor leagues.
It just always seems like you see right-handers throw that pitch, not many lefties. But Hitchcock will throw it, and he'll throw it with devastating effect. The batter is Andrew Jones. Now this is a spot Q.Veras has to steal a base.
Well, with 2 outs, you'd think that he would try, but Hitchcock's aware of that as well.
I'm sending it.
But I think a lot of times with 2 outs, and you're a guy that can steal bases, you try to get a jump every pitch, and if you think you have the jump, you take off. But I don't know if he's on his own with Bobby Cox. A lot of managers have stop signs or do not steal signs.
Too far in. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, if he needs a sign from Bobby, I think Bobby's sending it.
He's already given it to him?
Yeah. He's stolen 5 bases this year, although he's been caught 3 times. And as you saw on that graphic a few moments ago, he did not have a very good percentage of success last year with the Padres. Now, Joe, I studied a little bit for this game.
Okay.
And Hitchcock, the book on him is that he's got a pretty good move, but he does not throw with a slide step to the plate, so he's still got that kind of slow delivery to the plate. So you can't get a jump on him. Veras jumped there with Hitchcock still in the stretch, so Hitchcock stepped off the slab.
John, a lot of left-handed pitchers do not like to throw to first base a lot. You have to force them to do it.
There he goes. No. Get out, get out. And he makes it back. Q.Veras stole first base.
Well, he actually timed Hitchcock perfectly, but Hitchcock got the ball to the plate pretty quickly, and he felt like he didn't have the jump he thought he had. Now watch, he's taking off before Hitchcock throws, and then he stops for some reason. He read him properly, at least he got a great start. Then he stopped very quickly.
2-0 to Andrew Jones, meanwhile. He's affecting a little bit of a slide step here.
Well, he did on that one, Johnny. Was quicker to the plate. You can see Veras back easily at first base. But most left-handed pitchers, if you can read their delivery to the plate, you have time to run because they are a little more deliberate to the plate than most right-handers are.
Plus you can see everything he's doing.
Right.
Fastball off the outside. Well, maybe just the threat of the stolen base was enough. Andrew Jones gets a 4-pitch walk. So now Chipper Jones is up with a chance to do some serious damage.
And that's what really drives the manager crazy right there is that, you know, the runner's at first base. He doesn't have a great percentage, so you shouldn't think about him that often. Just make sure you get the hitter out. Now he's in trouble. Now he has Chipper Jones, and reigning National League Most Valuable Player, up. Now he has a bigger problem than he had with Q.Veras at first base.
Chipper Jones, 5 hits in 14 career at-bats against Sterling Hitchcock. And the big spot here, 2 on, 2 out. No score, 3rd inning. Chipper struck out his first time. Big fastball on the inside. It's 0-1. Chipper Jones, I mean, in the past, as a right-handed hitter, he was a guy who hit a lot of singles to right, things like that. Last year, he actually hit for better power as a right-handed hitter than as a lefty. There's a fastball on the inside corner again.
And he attributed his newfound power from the right side to him and Don Baylor working very hard to get pitches to drive. And there's strike 2. And both times he's come inside with the fastball.
0-2 the count. Goes in there again, high and tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. All right, does he set Chipper up for something else here? The splitter, a changeup, something like that?
Well, I think that was a very good pitch there. A lot of times you go inside twice and then they miss away. I thought that was good going inside, but he definitely has set him up, you know, for a splitter. But it appears to me that he wants to go inside again.
There goes Q.Veras, and down on strikes is Chipper Jones. No score after 2.5.
Fine. Artie said I'll come down to the police station. I am cooperating here. Oh, come on. He'll live. Fine. I just got to do this thing first, okay?
Mr. Martin? Mr. Martin?
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Thank heavens for turbos. Introducing the all-new Volvo V70 T5, the next generation family car.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with pure base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Face.
Is there a hog in your yard? Well, there ought to be. If you want to cut branches twice as thick as most other hedge trimmers cut, go hog wild with the Hedgehog. Built by Black & Decker.
Ooh, nice.
If you've got a business to run, Staples has everything you need at guaranteed low prices.
We got to get that contract signed.
Sir, did you order the Kung Pao chicken?
Yeah, it's going to be a long night.
All the supplies to stock your office and an in-house copy and print center. Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
Chipper Jones striking out for the 2nd straight time against Sterling Hitchcock. Shades of the 1998 National League Championship Series when Hitchcock just shut down the Braves. He ended up winning the MVP award of that National League Championship Series. Now T.Glavine, to Carlos Hernandez, ball one. The Padres have not yet put a man on base against T.Glavine. Hernandez hitting .323. Just back from an injury. He's only had 31 at bats for the year. Broken back with a base hit to center field.
Let's take a look at how Sterling Hitchcock worked Chipper Jones to get out of the jam there in the third inning. Fastball in for a strike, another one, and then he throws a fastball up and in. Now he's got him set up for anything. Fastball, curveball, change, so he throws him a splitter. And here's the pitch. You showing him a different speed. After all those fastballs, he had a chance to come with a splitter, a curveball, or a change. He chose the splitter, and he was able to strike Chipper out.
Tough pitching there. That was a clutch situation with the reigning National League MVP at the plate and 2 men on. Corey DeHaan is the hitter against Glavine. Glavine looking for that 5th win here on the final day of April. No Braves starting pitcher has won 5 games in April since 1985 when Rick Mailer did it. Just off the outside. Mailer is the Braves record holder for wins in April.
We talked about you wouldn't see a big difference in T.Glavine, and we haven't seen a lot of cut fastballs. He is basically, you know, the same pitcher that he has been for the last few years. But the fact that he has the cut fastball and the hitters know it, that also helps.
That cutter, similar to the tough pitch that the Yankees' Andy Pettit will throw to right-handed hitters. Jam those right-handers. DeHaan with a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know what I find interesting with Glavine is that he works from the extreme third base corner of the rubber, and normally when you throw the ball toward the outside part of the plate, you're on the other side of the rubber, so you get that natural tailing motion away from the right-handed hitter. But he works from the extreme left-hand corner of the rubber, third base side of the rubber, and he doesn't get quite the same angle that you would get if you move more toward the middle or to the outside. See, if he was over here, you get more tailing motion. See, he has to actually throw it at an angle to get it to the outside corner from where he's standing.
And DeHaan with a foul tip into the glove of Lopez. Strike 3. We told you about our ball game on ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball. The Braves and the Dodgers over on ESPN2 at 7 o'clock Pacific Time, 10 Eastern. The young Florida Marlins up against the San Diego Padres. Preston Wilson, who had 26 home runs as a rookie last year, goes for the Marlins against the San Diego Padres right here in this ballpark on ESPN2. Strike 1 to Sterling Hitchcock. Now, Hitchcock, until I saw Hideki Irabu swing on Friday night, Joe, in San Francisco, he's now with Montreal.
Yes.
I thought that Hitchcock was the worst hitting pitcher I'd ever seen.
Well, he gets his hat. He foul tipped it.
Nobody knew where that one was. He hit it all the way over to the right-hand batter's box, maybe a foot and a half from home plate, and nobody knew where it was.
Well, he tries to trick them, and then he turns and tries to drill one past everyone.
Yeah, see, Lopez didn't know where it was. Where is it? 0-2 to Hitchcock. And that's strike 3. He bunted it foul. And if you do that, that's strike 3.
Strike out to the pitcher, put out to the catcher.
If you swung at it and fouled it, it just doesn't count as a pitch.
We'd let you stay there.
Yeah, you stay. But if you bunt at it with 2 strikes and foul it, you're out. So Hitchcock now is 0 for 11 this year, and he struck out 7 of those 11 times. I'm probably getting a little. I was a little too hard on him, Joe. I feel bad now.
Well, I didn't. You see, I didn't go along with you.
So you didn't buy it?
No, I thought you were a little hard on him as well, but you know.
Hitchcock, who Carlos Hernandez still over there at first base. Andres Galarraga on the bag with him. When the Padres first got him, Hitchcock, who had been in the American League, started with the Yankees, then went to the Mariners. And he said one time, he said, if I ever go to the National League, the record that Joey Hamilton set here when he was with the Padres, Hamilton once went 0 for 59. He predicted that he would shatter that record. That's a foul out of play by Al Martin. But Sterling Hitchcock, by the way, has had 172 at-bats with the Padres. Just see, I'm being fair.
Okay.
He's had 17 hits. It's almost hitting 100. That's not bad, right? Is it?
Well, one of the
you said hitting 200 is like hitting 300.
Right. Well,
what's hitting under 100?
Like hitting under 250, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, but I must say, one day he hit a double. He was the second base. They picked him off, and his answer was pretty simple. He said, I've never been out there before. So he didn't know what to do from second base. But he's always up there hacking.
He's a much better hitter than I ever realized. The guy, I guess, who was the worst hitter of all time and sadly passed away recently was a guy who pitched for the Giants back in the 60s named Ron Herbel. I mean, I'm sure you faced Ron Herbel. He never got a hit until one day in the Astrodome. Got his first major league hit, and the next year he got his second major league hit. That was also at the Astrodome. He could only hit indoors, apparently. And then he got a base hit to right field at Wrigley Field. And I guess he was already celebrating his first outdoor hit, and the right fielder threw him out at first base. Bad hitting, bad base running. Sterling Hitchcock, he got 17 hits. Almost hitting 100. That is ball 4. A check swing by Al Martin. So now the Padres have a threat. Damian Jackson coming up. There's Bobby Cox. Bobby got thrown out of the game last night in the 7th inning by Bill Welke, who was the home plate umpire.
You know, Bobby's been getting thrown out a lot. The last year he led the managers in being thrown out in the National League, and he's a mild-mannered guy, so it surprises me that Bobby gets tossed as often as he does.
Well, you say he's a mild-mannered guy because you're not an umpire.
Well, I think it just must be the magic words or something that he says, because, you know, I can't imagine him getting that angry that he would just, you know, get kicked out of a ball game. He probably just says some choice words as he's on his way out.
I hear the umpires are always shocked as well. Damian Jackson takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. He flied out deep to right center. He, so far, is the only Padre to actually hit one into the outfield. Glavine's been getting a lot of ground balls. Damian Jackson trying to drive home a run. Hernandez at second. Martin at first. That is on the inside. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bobby Cox also pulled a hamstring muscle before the game yesterday. He was out for early hitting. He said he was over at third base, just like in the old days when he played. Andrew Jones hit a shot right at him, and he jumped out of the way of it and pulled his hamstring. That's a foul right into the Atlanta dugout on the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've got the long, late afternoon Southern California shadows. The hitter's background, back behind Tom Glavine, is lit up in the late sunshine, but the pitcher and the batter themselves are in the shadows. 1 and 2. Oh, changed up for the strikeout. And Damian Jackson has now struck out 27 times already this year. Galarraga, Jordan, and López, 3 power hitters coming up. We're scoreless.
Coming to theaters May 19th. Discover a world that you've only imagined.
Pictures presents Dinosaur. Rated PG. What is it?
I don't know. Yesterday, finding anything at a home improvement store meant searching for hours, getting dirty, and lost. People accepted this. Today, there's Lowe's, and there's order in the world. The 3/4-inch bolts are where it says 3/4-inch bolts. Plumbing? Well, that's in plumbing. Just look for the signs. And you can read them with aisles so bright you can even tell almond from ivory. Friends, this is why logic makes sense. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
I lost my job, my wife loves Bob. I'm left with some old stray. I need some help to get me through my day. I drive myself to better luck, but they just took my pickup truck. I need some help to get me through my day.
Tender and satisfying pemmican beef jerky.
Pack your pemmican and you'll survive the day.
Can something like a machine give you the power to work on your own terms? A machine that actually makes you feel free. Is there such a machine? A freedom machine? What do you think?
Choose freedom. Choose Toshiba.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball presented by Gum Out. Braves nothing, Padres nothing as we start the 4th inning.
Let's take a look. This is what Andre was talking about, how he uses both eyes. Now, the reason some guys hit the inside pitch better is because they're left eye dominant or right eye dominant. They hit the ball away better. And I think now with Andres, he's got both eyes straight at the plate, and that's what he was talking about when he sees the ball with both eyes. See how he's turned completely around.
It's a foul out of play off to the right.
But John, a lot of guys, myself included, when I stood in the batter's box, I hit the ball inside better because my right eye was more dominant. I saw the ball inside better. A lot of guys who are, if they're a left-handed hitter and they're left eye dominant, they'll hit the ball away better. And that's the reason you have guys hit the ball better inside and other guys hit the ball better outside. And it's because of the way you set up to the pitcher and how you see the ball out of his hand. And what Andres and Don Baylor tried to do is make sure he was completely turned and used both eyes.
And the changeup, 2-2. I was always told that the hand-eye cross dominance is the optimum. And he is down on strikes. So Galarraga, the strikeout victim here, he is 0 for 2 against Hitchcock.
Let's take a look at this pitch. This is one of the things that's tough to do when the shadow's out there is pick up the spin or pick up a breaking ball. And you can see that's tough to pick up. He's way out in front as Hitchcock threw him the splitter. And there's the shadows. The background, of course, is in sunlight, and then the ball comes into the shadows.
Jordan hits it sharp with the foot. Never does get himself back on his feet, and from his knees, he threw on one hop to first, too late to get Jordan. Wow, Phil, what happened over there, man?
Well, he was making sure that he stayed down on the ball. Watch. Now watch him stay down. He stays down. Well, he trips right as he's going down for it. Trips on his right foot. Now he tries to get up, and he can't get up, so he does the next best thing. He tries to throw him out from his knees, and Jordan too quick for that.
Well, Jordan is one of the few runners who would have beaten that throw, but that's not the way they work on it in spring training. J.López, powerful right-handed hitter. He also was injured a good part of last year for the Braves. Galarraga missed the whole season. López missed half the year, or a little more than that even. 284 average coming into play tonight with 3 home runs for J.López. No score, 4th inning. And Jordan, who can steal a base. Back
back to the bag at first. He's had 2 steals so far this year. Jordan's only playing in his 12th game of the year. He's had injury problems with which to deal with, or with which to deal with. The heck with it.
I knew what you meant each time.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I guess over these 11 years, you could probably say John, and I'd know who you were talking about, since we've been together so long.
1 ball, 1 strike. To J.López. Trinidad Hubbard is on deck. And that's too low. 2 balls and a strike.
That was interesting, John. I was watching Hitchcock there, and he moved his shoulders a little bit like he was going to first base, but he threw to the plate.
I knew you were going to say that.
That was deceiving. You see, he went to first base. He didn't do it, but I mean, that was interesting. I was just watching him.
So would you have been picked off in that previous one?
No. I would have thought he was going to first, so I wouldn't have been leaving.
So he would have frozen you. He would have had you leaning back to the bag.
Well, first of all, I would have been yelling at the umpire, calling the ball.
2-2 the count now to López. So you mean he did something that was illegally deceiving the runner?
You can't lean over there with your upper body and then throw to the plate.
So you can't lean with the upper body toward first and then throw to the plate. Too far in with that cut fastball. 3-2 now. I mean, that's why you want to see the guy, if you're a base stealer, make some throws to first.
Yeah, you want to see him throw to first base, because then you get a read, because then it becomes like red light, green light.
Back to the bag is Jordan. 3-2, 1 out. Jordan's got to be running here.
Well, Hitchcock thinks he is.
Padres like to run, and so do the Braves. The Braves are second in the league in stolen bases, only behind the Padres. He's not going. This is a double play ball to short. There's 1. And Boone to first. 2. Double play. That's it for Atlanta. Now Eric Owens, Phil Nevin, and Ryan Klesko coming up. No score.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Mornings, evenings, late nights? Only on ESPN.
You're an investor. Would a cell phone company push your buttons? Janus dove into their books, questioned their projections, called up their customers, even tracked down the company that sells them their microchips to make sure there were no kinks in their supply line. That's how Janus decides if a stock is a smart call. Don't put your money on hold. Get there. Janus Mutual Funds. Today, the United Nations is joining forces with a global company.
Fight poverty. Millions are joining the cause online. 1,000 people can get directly involved every second.
Cisco and its partners have created the NetAid website, the world's first online campaign to fight global poverty.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
We've all read about Generation X and Gen Y. This is Generation D, the generation that was born digital. The computer is no more exotic than the refrigerator. They did voice over IP in their dorm rooms. Now they're here at WorldCom. All the new technology, they totally get it. They're just wondering what's taking the rest of the world so long. WorldCom, Generation D.
Now's the time to head to McDonald's for 2 temptingly tender chicken sandwiches. Introducing the new crispy chicken and the new Chicken McGrill. Made hot, fresh, right to order. With all white meat and the perfect seasonings for a surprising taste. Whoa. That was only the first bite. Who has 2 great new chicken sandwiches? Did somebody say McDonald's? A worldwide Olympic partner.
Phil Pino back in the studio as MCI.WorldCom takes us to Chicago for the Cubs and the D-backs. Randy Johnson struck out 11 Cubs. He went 7 innings. He's the first National League pitcher to ever win 6 games in April. Now 6-0. D-backs won at 6-6.
The big unit pitching on the same day as did Pedro Martinez. No beanball incidents in the ball game at Wrigley today. Randy Johnson's ERA at .91.
Well, it didn't keep Martinez from winning, though.
Pedro won
2-1 over Cleveland.
But will he get suspended? There's a ball outside. Of course, there were no brawls.
Yes, but I guess the question is whether Frank Robinson and the league thinks he threw it Roberto Alomar intentionally.
Eric Owens, the hitter. The 3, 4, 5 hitters in the batting order coming up for the Padres here. Owens, who's had the hot hand early on this year, came into the game hitting .370. Grounded out to second his first time. He's got a 1-ball, 1-strike count facing T.Glavine. Phil Nevin and Ryan Klesko. A couple of power hitters will follow.
John, in that Frank Robinson deal, I don't remember Frank charging the mound that often. He got hit a lot. But what he would do is just turn around next time and hit a home run. So the managers on the teams forbid their pitchers from hitting. They say, you better not hit Frank.
Now, Bob Gibson told me, that's called strike 2. The Frank crowded the plate so much. And this is Bob Gibson now. He said that Frank's elbow was in the strike zone.
Well, Bob probably targeted at his elbow there.
And Gibby said, I'm just trying to hit that inside corner, and I kept hitting him on the elbow. 3-2 the count. But now I think, Frank Robinson doesn't need my help and hasn't asked for it, but
you can give it to him anyway.
I think the umpires, they have to go with the umpires' decision. In a situation like today, if they did not throw Pedro Martinez out, if they did not say he threw at him intentionally, they've got to go with the umpires. They were the ones there.
I think that's a pretty good argument, that the umpires should have an idea of whether the guy threw at him or not.
Albert Bell got suspended a few years ago for crashing into Fernando Vina.
Correct.
Well, the umpires who were there did not throw him out of the game or even rule a double play for an illegal play. And I thought it was wrong. That ball is fouled on the right field line. 3-2 the count to Eric Owens. And I thought it was wrong that he was suspended when the umpires who were on the spot did not make any kind of a ruling that he had done anything extraordinarily wrong.
Well, remember when that happened, I went out on a limb because a lot of people thought I was just protecting him, but I thought that he made a good play. It wasn't that he did anything wrong. I thought he made a good play.
His job was
to break up the double play, and he did that.
Yeah, but you're always covering up for Albert. That one is hit well deep in the left center field. It's on its way. Adios, pelota. 1-0 San Diego. Owens' first home run of the year, and it was a shot.
Well, you mentioned Owens had been hitting the ball very well, hitting .370 for an average coming in, but that was his first home run, and he put a charge into it.
That was a home run in the old days in this ballpark, way up into the seats out there. Phil Nevin, who's the guy who hits a lot of home runs, got 6 already this year. Foul ball, 0-1.
Well, you see the target. Let's see how close he comes to the target. He missed the target by quite a bit. The target was inside, and he threw it out over the middle of the plate, and he drilled it in the left center field.
Man, that's a shot. The wall behind the palm trees used to be the home run wall. It's a ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 18 feet high.
Yeah, you used to have to hit it up here for it to be a home run, not down here where their present fence structure is.
Anybody could hit one over that.
Yeah, I think so. They're doing it quite often.
1-2 the count, and this is a pretty good home run park, but Eric Owens did not need the new dimension. He launched it. He hit it up into Nate Colbert territory out there. T.Glavine has not been giving up too many home runs. In fact, Joe, you know how many he's given up now for the year in 40-plus innings?
1.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we just saw it. The first home run allowed by Glavine this year, that snaps a stretch of 18 consecutive scoreless innings Glavine had fashioned, including a 1-0 shutout victory last Tuesday over the Dodgers' Kevin Brown in Atlanta. There's the Eric Owen fan club, and Eric Owens does not disappoint. His first home run of the year, he has 14 RBIs, which is pretty good considering he just now hit his first home run. So Nevin's got 6 home runs and 16 RBIs. And down and away. 3-2 the count with Ryan Klesko on deck. The Braves' entire staff has been pretty stingy in allowing home runs, Joe. And this is Atlanta's 24th game of the year. In the year of the home run. And that is only the 22nd home run they've given up. The shortstop. Nice play. Furcal throws out Nevin. 19-year-old shortstop, R.Furcal. Here's the panoramic view from high overhead here in the Mission Valley, Qualcomm Stadium. The aerial pictures are being provided by the Gumout aerial camera. We're certainly happy to have them with us here in San Diego. And we'll hope they'll make the trek up north next Sunday with us to Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine, Los Angeles. We'll see the Dodgers in action next Sunday night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Maybe you and I just hitch a ride with the Gumout aerial cam up there to L.A. Ball 1 to Ryan Klesko. He hit one right back to Glavine his first time, facing Glavine for the very first time, because they'd always been teammates until this year. Klesko, I mean, I used to think Klesko was going to be a 45 home run guy. But he had the one big year, 34 homers, and then started to go back from that. Until the last couple of years had become mostly a platoon player for Bobby Cox.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who predicted he would be a 40, 50 home run hitter, man, every year. In fact, Willie Stargell, who was with the Braves at the time, and I saw him in the minor leagues once, and that's what Willie predicted for him.
The shortstop, Furcal.
Tell you what, I'm watching Furcal for the first time personally, but I tell you what, I like the way he moves. He stays on his toes. He's got great footwork out there at shortstop, and that's the key to being a middle infielder and being a good one, is having good footwork. And he moves to the ball and he stays down on the ball. I think he's going to be a good one.
He will not turn 20 until late August. He's from the Dominican Republic. Went to Jose Cabrera High School in Loma de Cabrera, Dominican Republic. This is his 3rd year in pro ball.
John, a lot of young infielders, you have to teach them to move to the ball and go to the ball. They have a tendency to wait on the ball. But he moves to the ball and stays down. It's just great footwork.
Well, I'm hoping he gets on base at some point so we can see him try to run. He stole 96 bases in the minor leagues last year. F-U-R-C-A-L, R.Furcal. And, I mean, for a 19-year-old to get a chance to play for Atlanta right now, you know he's got to be good.
You're right. It tells you right there that they think a lot of him, and they know that, you know, he's going to be a good player. Because I think the one thing they're saying, they're probably not even worried about his hitting. They just want him to play defense and steal a few bases for them, and he's been able to do that so far.
Strike on the outside. And Furcal, the switch hitter, he's got 4 steals already. Came into the game hitting 300. And he covers a lot of ground out there at shortstop. 2-2 to Brett Boone. 2 down, nobody on. Padres ahead 1-0 on the Eric Owens home run. Right to Galarraga. And that wins the inning. But the long home run by Eric Owens has given the Padres a 1-0 lead. T.Hubbard and then Furcal coming up for Atlanta. 1-0 San Diego after 4.
All the world over so easy to say. People everywhere just wanna be free.
AirTouch Cellular has become Verizon Wireless. Join in.
All the world over so easy to say. People everywhere just wanna be free.
AirTouch Cellular has become Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Volunteers, we all have regular jobs. We can be coming from anywhere. We get a call, we need to get to the fire right now.
Things that are going through our mind are hazards we might face so that when we get on scene, we're ready to act.
We need a truck that can handle anything we throw at it. 4 full-size doors gets us in and out quickly.
There's 6 people in the cab and there's a ton of room for cargo. Great truck.
Introducing VHIX.com. VHIX knows if it's better for you to lease or buy. VHIX knows how to sell your used car online. VHIX knows how many luxury sedans are for sale within 10 miles of your home. Fact is, if it's about cars, VHIX knows the answer. Except why engineers can figure out how to make your turn signal shut off when you turn, but not when you don't turn. That, no one knows. VHIX.com. Roadmap to the automotive world.
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand, live game audio. Make the moves in MLB's official online fantasy game. Grab the latest gear at the official store. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
1-0 Padres. We go to the 5th. R.Furcal coming up second in the inning. And Bobby Cox told us about his young prodigy.
He's got the best arm since Sean Dustin came into baseball. That's the way I view his arm. And he's got great range, and he plays shortstop very well. He's a great second baseman, and he's always hit over 300 in the minor leagues. And last year he stole 100 bases. So we've got a real good kid there, and we're going to bring him. I thought in spring training that he could help us win games. And also we could help him further his career. Advancing, you know, a little bit faster up here with the likes of Walt Weiss, guys like that working with him, and Bobby Dews and Glenn Hubbard. So it's a win-win situation there.
Well, high praise for R.Furcal, who's on deck. Trinidad Hubbard, the hitter, with a count of 1 strike, facing Sterling Hitchcock. Strike 2.
John, I think the key there what Bobby said was that up here he could have him work with Walt Weiss. Now you got to remember, he took Walt Weiss's job, and Walt Weiss has been really helping the young player to improve and working with him every day.
Strike 3. Hubbard is gone, and now Furcal will come up.
And Bobby knew that. He knew that, you know, bringing this kid up wasn't going to change Weiss's attitude about the team. Weiss has gone out of his way to help the guy, even though he's taking his job.
And, I mean, Weiss has still played a lot of shortstop. Sometimes Furcal moves over and plays second base. They also thought about putting him in the outfield occasionally. Furcal takes a strike to the outside from Hitchcock as he showed bunt. Last year, actually had 96 steals in 2 stops in the minor leagues. Class A Macon and then Class A Myrtle Beach.
Well, I agree with Bobby. I'll say he had 100, John, because he probably lost 4 while he was moving from one place to the other. On those days he was traveling, he lost those stolen bases.
He stole 4 in his way to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, he was traveling to Myrtle Beach, cost him 4 that day.
2-1 to Furcal. Now, he's from a very athletic-minded family. He's got 2 brothers who are playing minor league ball right now in other organizations. Base hit. Over to left center.
Well, as Bobby said, he's hit 300 every place, and he's just adjusting here to the major leagues. John, let's take a look at this defense. This is what I was talking about. To be a good infielder, you have to have quick steps. And look how he stays down. See, that's what I like about him. A lot of guys get down, they bend down. He drops down, and that's what I like.
That's an interesting point. Not just bending over for the bag.
From the upper part of your body, he gets his whole body down in front of the ball, and I like that. And that's tough to teach. That's tough to get young infielders to do.
Let's see if he can get a jump here against Sterling Hitchcock. Now, would he try to steal here, or would they just have Q.Veras bunt him over?
Well, Q.Veras a pretty good hitter. He's hitting .333 this year, but he didn't look too good against the left-handed Hitchcock before, so I would think they would probably bunt him over in this situation.
Glavine squares. Called a strike on the outside. Third baseman Nevin charging hard when he saw Glavine give run. I mean, if he could steal second, then Glavine would have a chance to drive him in himself.
Right. Well, that's what I was thinking, except he didn't look that good against Hitchcock the first time up, so Bobby's probably thinking, I don't want to take a chance. Maybe I'll just bunt him over and leave it up to Veras to drive him in. I think it all depended on the way that he looked his first at bat, and he didn't look that good against Hitchcock the first time up.
Nobody's looked real good against Hitchcock so far. He's only allowed 4 hits in the game. Glavine bunts it foul. 0-2 the count. Furcal in the big leagues this year has 4 steals in 5 tries in his 17 previous games. He looks over. Third base coach Ned Yost. Being held in the bag over there by the former Brave Ryan Klesko. There's Yost. Nevin still shallow at third. There you see Furcal's lead. He's going. The throw. It hit him, and it goes to left field, and he'll go to third.
Man, he's quick. He's got quick feet. He takes short, quick steps.
His 5th steal.
I mean, he even sounds quick, doesn't he?
Man.
Yeah, but he's got those short, quick steps. That's what I like, and that's why he's a good infielder.
So now the Padres are going to bring the infield in. Now he's just changed everything. Glavine was trying to bunt him over to second. Now the infield has come in to try and choke off a run. In the dirt, and a run saved, at least for the moment, by Carlos Hernandez.
It's interesting to see how tight the infielders are. They're actually in on the grass itself. And, I mean, that's giving Furcal a lot of respect. I mean, they're moving in on the infield grass. Normally, you just get to the baseline, but they're moving in closer because they respect his speed.
Furcal.
I'm not sure that he's going on contact anyway, because they were trying to bunt him over. They wanted to get him in scoring position, and they've done that. So now you let Glavine try to drive him in, and then let Veras try to drive him in, instead of trying to go on contact, try to score with a chopper to the infield or a ground ball to the infield.
Now, if they chop the ground ball to Boone or Klesko, I want him to run.
Well, if he hits it to one of them, he should be out.
He's gone! And it's a bunt foul. They put the suicide squeeze on with a 2-2 count to Tom Glavine.
John, I was looking down just before that pitch. I saw Ned Yost at the last minute walk over and whisper something to Furcal. And I said, no, they wouldn't squeeze right here, but yes, they do, and here he comes. And see, it's really tough to squeeze with a left-handed hitter up there, because anytime they throw the ball outside, it's right in the line for the catcher to, tag the runner out.
Q.Veras and Carlos Hernandez came up ready to throw.
Well, they think he's getting too big a lead at third base, and that's how you shorten his lead.
Q.Veras has a single and a walk in this game.
But you can see that the speed of Furcal has changed everything this inning.
Base hit to center field. And Furcal scores. It is 1-1.
And the Braves get a little lucky there, John, in my opinion, because I thought that's what they were going to do anyway, let Veras drive him in rather than try to squeeze, because you wanted to get him in the scoring position. You had him in scoring position. If there's a strikeout and he tag him out at home plate, then the inning's over. But here Veras gets a 2-out base hit, and you're tied at 1 here in the 5th inning.
But Bobby Cox was expressing a huge amount of confidence in Glavine's ability to get his bat on that ball.
Correct.
Now here is Andrew Jones.
And the one thing that they did have going for them is that Sterling Hitchcock is left-handed, and he couldn't see the runner break right away. Because if you're right-handed in that situation, you see the runner break, all you do is throw the ball way outside, and there's no way Glavine can come across the plate to even foul it. But the fact he was left-handed allowed them to do that.
There goes Veras. Hernandez. Well, Hernandez, that was a horrible pitch on which to try to make a throw for the catcher. He was off balance when he made the throw, and he's lucky it didn't skip on into center field.
Well, he tried to throw for call out. He made a good throw, and the ball got there at the same time. What he tries to do here is get rid of the ball quicker because he sees that Veras has a great jump at first base. So he tries to get rid of it just very quickly, get it down there as quick as you can, and he threw it to the shortstop side.
Now Andrew Jones trying to drive in a run. He drove in 3 in the 12th inning last night with a game-winning home run here. So the Atlanta Braves. I mean, it's been a while since you would have thought of the Braves in terms of being a base-stealing team, but they have 22 steals and for the moment lead the league.
And that's why they made the trade with the Padres to change the image that they had of one of just hitting for power.
Drilled foul down the left field line. 2-1 to Andrew Jones, who was hit into a double play and walked.
Anytime you have a team like the Braves, I've always felt that you needed a lot of speed because their pitchers are always going to keep you in the ball game. And if you can score 1 run here, 1 run there, you're going to win a lot of ball games. Kind of like the Dodgers of old when they had just Maury Wills as their offense. But the Braves, of course, have far more offense than the Dodgers of old had. But the speed will also help you when you have a great pitching staff like the Braves have.
Well, and it really seemed to be an element that was
missing,
sadly missing in that World Series last October with the Yankees. And they were banged up without 2 of their biggest sluggers. They had some of their other top guys like Andrew Jones, who was not hitting, and B.Jordan was struggling, and suddenly they just had no other way to come after you. Now they've got Veras, Reggie Sanders, and R.Furcal. And Andrew Jones can steal a base, too. That drove the swing on Andrew. Strike 2.
And, John, the thing you have to remember is that when you're playing in the World Series, as they were last year against the Yankees, you're going to be facing a good pitching staff from the other league with their top 3 pitchers is all you're going to see. And that's going to cut down on your home runs. And you can see the barrel of the bat appeared to go forward a little bit, but it's very close. It'll always look like he swung in slow motion almost any time. But they definitely needed some speed if they were going to win a World Series, and I think that's what they're pointing towards.
3-2 the count. Runner at second. And he went out of the strike zone. And then he has Chipper Jones behind him, and he swung at ball 4. 1-1 going to the last of the 5th.
The sleek, new 200-horsepower Chevy Monte Carlo SS.
Hot.
The side you show the world is up to you. Monte Carlo will be there.
There are lots of tempting computers out there, so how do you choose? This one looks appetizing, but is it fast enough? This one looks good, but no 24/7 tech support or on-site service. Now a Gateway Select PC comes with a 700 megahertz processor, 24/7 tech support, on-site repair service if necessary, and you can trade it in toward the purchase of a new one in 2 years. All for just $1,299. So come and get it. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
Yo, y'all ready for a great chicken sandwich?
At that place by Rodney's?
Guess again. It's a seasoned breast filet cooked to perfection.
The place by Tyrone's house.
Nope. I'm talking leaf lettuce, juicy tomato, creamy mayo.
McDonald's.
They have a chicken sandwich like that?
They sure do.
New crispy chicken or chicken McGrill sandwich made hot, fresh, right to order.
Yo, this chicken sandwich is fresh.
Where can you get it?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I did, right before we pulled in.
McDonald's, a worldwide Olympic partner.
I am looking for a house, for a duplex.
With a fenced yard.
Close to the park.
Where I can be myself.
Everybody's looking for something different in a home. Now there's only one place they have to look. ColdwellBanker.com. When you need an address, try ours.
Oh, you locked out?
There you go. Are you Matt Madonna?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Nice to meet you.
So you're locked out of your car. Is that the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Maple Leafs Devils, Game 3, tomorrow at 7 on ESPN2.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball presented by Gum Out. Braves won, Padres won, last of the 5th inning. Carlos Hernandez, his 7th place hitter, leads off against T.Glavine. Eagles ball 1 down and away. Hernandez got a single his first time. 1-1 the score. Glavine looking for his 5th consecutive win. Glavine, a 2-time Cy Young winner. 1991, he won the award, and again in '98. Glavine, who had 3 consecutive 20-win seasons, 91, 92, 93. Another 20 when he won the award in '98. Grew up in the Boston area. His dad, Fred, was always a great fan of Warren Spahn. Hits softly right to R.Furcal at short. And Hernandez is retired. 1 away.
Eric Orange put the Padres ahead 1-0. And let's take a look at his bat track. The pitch speed, you can see, is 88 miles an hour. And the bat speed right at the point of contact, look at 89 miles an hour. That's matching up pretty well right there. And he's got it right out in front, right where you need it.
The only home run given up by Glavine this year. Now Corey DeHaan drives one. Left center, there's Andrew Jones. And that is out number 2. DeHaan hit it pretty well. Get into the big part of the ballpark. 2 down, and Sterling Hitchcock will come up. But Joe, Tom Glavine's dad, Fred, was a great fan of the old Boston Braves and Warren Spahn. And Glavine says that he knows that Spahn meant a lot to his dad. He says the more that he has accomplished as a big leaguer, the more his dad points out what's left for him to do.
Right, that what Spahn did, right?
And call 1 to Hitchcock. Spahn, of course, won more games than any other left-hander in history. 363 wins. And had 13 different seasons where he won 20 games or more.
I know a lot of people, know of Warren Spahn, but I still think he's underrated. I still don't think he gets the credit that he deserves for what he did. He was just amazing.
Well, I think this is because of the strikeout.
Right.
This fixation on strikeouts, and strikeouts do not always equate to wins.
Right.
Warren Spahn didn't set any strikeout records, but he set the one record that probably meant more than anything else. 363 wins by 11. 1-1. Chipper Jones, Andres Galarraga, Brian Jordan coming up for the Braves. Stay tuned.
Think something that small can't hurt your car? Even smaller carbon deposits can clog your car's fuel injectors. So use Gum Out Extra Fuel Injector Cleaner to get rid of deposits for smoother overall performance. And did I mention better acceleration?
Drive your fuel injectors clean with Gum Out Extra.
How come Joe Namath was more popular than Johnny Unitas? Both were great quarterbacks. Both jerseys hang in the Hall of Fame. But then, only one quarterback was ever seen on the sidelines wearing a full-length mink coat. The all-new Mitsubishi Montero. Nicely equipped at $31,000. Toughness meets style.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
I love to call my old teammates, and I can call them anytime I want, thanks to MCI Fastens every day. So, Bugs, how's the team?
Well, Michael, it's a rebuilding year.
With MCI 5 cents every day, calls are only 5 cents a minute every evening and all weekend long. Hey, Bugs, Any bright spots?
There is this Australian kid. Got moves just like you.
Stay in touch with old friends and new. Just call 1-800 every day to join.
Braves won, Padres won. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and the big guns are coming up for Atlanta against Sterling Hitchcock. Qualcomm Stadium, that's where we are tonight. It's the aerial view. Big crowd here, somewhere around 40,000. They had 49,000 last night. And here in San Diego, everybody seems to love the Padres. Their average attendance so far this year at home has been almost 37,000.
John, I think John Morris, Lucchino, and Towers have a lot to do with that.
Chipper Jones. High and foul up the left field line.
Because remember, they took over 5 years ago, and before that, they were struggling with their attendance. But Larry Lucchino, John Morris, Kevin Towers, they've done a great job of marketing this ball club.
Struggling with their attendance is not really the word for it. I mean, nobody came.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. Oh, wow, where was that pitch?
John's umpiring again. Bruce says it was outside, John.
Oh, nice by Hitchcock. Chipper Jones is gone. He's now struck out twice and dribbled one to the pitcher.
Let's take a look at B.Jordan. This was his first at bat when he got a base hit. Look at 85 miles an hour. He matches up pretty well. He waited and attacked the ball pretty well. Take another look. This is his next at bat. Pretty much same distance. But again, I come to the conclusion that low pitches are where you're going to get your best bat speed for most of your hitters, and he timed those 2 pitches perfectly and lined them for base hits.
Sterling Hitchcock to Andres Galarraga now. Andres is 0 for 2, and he swings at the slider and doesn't get it.
And there you see 89 miles an hour for Andres. He was trying to wait on that breaking ball, but he was way out in front. Anytime you get 85 to 95 mile an hour bat speed, you can drive the ball pretty well.
10 home runs for Galarraga. Back down there again.
Well, that tells you that he's not seeing the ball, even though he tries to sit with both eyes. He's not seeing the ball well because neither of those pitches started in the strike zone. And if you're Sterling Hitchcock, I think you have to try it one more time.
To Galarraga. Well, that one.
Well, that was a waste pitch.
Little too low.
Little too low.
Andres Galarraga is 39 years of age. I mean, if he had not just missed a year battling cancer, there'd be questions about how successful he's going to be at age 39. But to miss a whole year and battle cancer while missing that year at that age, this is just remarkable. 2-2 now to Galarraga. He's got 3 young daughters, Andrea, who's 14, Catherine, who's 8, and Andriana, who's only 2. Way back when he was only 37, he had a pretty good year. And there's another one for the strikeout.
Well, good pitching there by Hitchcock. You have to give him credit. He got him chasing that pitch out of the strike zone, and he finishes him off with it. And that's the 7th strikeout for Hitchcock. And there it is. That's that splitter. Down and away, and Andres chases it.
2 down. That's 6 strikeouts now for Hitchcock.
Did I miss one? Or
7.
7. Okay.
7
strikeouts. Yeah.
I forgot to list Glavine's strikeout, bunting 1 foul on the suicide screens. 1 ball and no strike to Jordan. Now he's had 2 of Atlanta's 5 hits. He's hit a double and had an infield single.
And the Braves are playing as well as they are without, a lot of contribution from B.Jordan. And last year he was great.
Jordan and Reggie Sanders, neither one have started to hit yet. 2 of their top outfielders. 3 up, 3 down for Hitchcock. Top of the order coming for the Padres against Glavine. It's 1-1.
Stadium Golf Center. Let us know what song you want.
Rick Franklin, Oregon business owner on Measure 82.
My business uses trucks to haul equipment around Oregon. Measure 82 would increase my fees and taxes about 60% a year. but a handful of big interstate trucking companies would get about a $6 million a year tax break. That's unfair to me and other small businesses in Oregon. I don't mind paying for good roads, but Measure 82 is not the answer.
Vote no on Measure 82, the unfair gas tax increase.
Some people are always thinking, obsessed with finding better answers and solutions. For them, there's Office.com, the new internet workplace with the tools and resources business people need most.
We can do this here.
Office.com, the new way to work. A service from Windstar.
Backlash, an antagonistic reaction to a prior action. Backlash, a hostile reaction, otherwise known as payback. The Rock, Chris Jericho, The Big Show, Triple H. Drastic times call for drastic measures. WWF Backlash, Sunday, April 30th on pay-per-view. Order and you can receive WWF The Music Volume 3. For details, visit WWF.com.
Some called it impossible. Some called it luck. But we who know just call it the goal. On Wednesday, May 10th, ESPN Classic will celebrate this day in history with a tribute to Bobby Orr and a goal that chilled the Blues in OT and put the icing on the Bruins Cup. Bobby Orr, the 30th anniversary of the goal. Wednesday, May 10th at 8, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Bill Pito back in the studio. The Phillies' Kurt Schilling back off the DL, his first start of the season against the Cards today. He struck out 8 batters in 6 innings of work, gave up 4 earned runs, 2 of them on a Mark McGwire moonball upcoming here in the 6th. Cards finished the month 55 home runs, tying the Giants for most homers in the National League in any month in history.
Amazing month for the St. Louis Cardinals. There's a foul ball by Al Martin, the leadoff man for the Padres, in a 1-1 ball game here in San Diego. This is John Miller with Joe Morgan, your Sunday night telecasters. Next Sunday will be at Dodger Stadium in L.A. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, 2 in Hawaii. Al Martin has grounded out and walked in this game. He's trying to get on base now against Q.Veras. Back to the screen. 0-2 the count. Tony Gwynn placed on the disabled list today for the Padres. He had knee problems, and it just was not getting better. So they're just going to let him get that better, and Bruce Bochy and the Padres will hope to get him back soon, because when Gwynn was playing and he's been hobbled, he just has not been hitting much. Strike 3. Al Martin is gone. The 6th strikeout for Q.Veras. We were mentioning next Sunday night we'll be at Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, to check out Sean Green in his Dodger blue uniform. Gary Sheffield, the Dodgers taking on Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio, and the Houston Astros. Coverage begins with baseball tonight at 7:30 Eastern next Sunday on ESPN. We hope you'll join us then. Dodgers just swept the Florida Marlins this weekend up there at Dodger Stadium. Here's Damian Jackson. And there's ball 1 from Tom Q.Veras. And the Braves are just on a roll. 17 wins and 6 losses coming into this game. And they are going to L.A. next to play the Dodgers beginning tomorrow night.
John, what I found interesting in Peter Pasquarelli's notes today, he said that it's been 18 months since they had a sub-500 month. I mean, they've had a winning month every month since, for a year and a half. I mean, is that amazing? I mean, they just never have a losing streak, so to speak, a losing month.
But you mean you're not counting November and January?
No, 18 baseball months.
So that's 3 seasons.
No, well, 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Since 1990, let me find it. I had it in here somewhere. 96, I believe.
3-0 the count. And that's ball 4 to Damian Jackson.
Well, it was in 1996. It was the last time was September, October of 1996. You're right.
That's the last time they had a losing record?
Yeah.
In a month?
18 months of baseball.
Okay.
And that Bobby Cox, Greg Maddox, all those guys contributed to that. But that's amazing to me. I mean, everyone you would think goes into a slump every once in a while.
That's consistency.
Very consistent.
Here's Eric Owens, who homered into left center back in the fourth for the Padres run. Now Jackson, the runner at first, can steal. Padres have a few guys, Martin, Jackson, Owens, who can all steal a base.
And I've said this on many occasions. I'm of the belief that you have to try to do something against the Braves staff. Maddox, you know, Smoltz, all of them. You have to do something, because if you just match up against them, you're usually going to come out on the short end. So you have to try to put runners in motion. You have to try to steal bases. You have to just try to make things happen out there.
That's a foul on the first base side. 2 strikes to count to Eric Owens, who has grounded out and homered. And for the year is hitting .372 right now. Among the top 10 hitters in the National League. 1-1 last of the 6th inning. The Braves, the consistent Braves, even by their standards, are on a roll right now with 12 consecutive wins. If they win tonight, that will equal the Braves' modern record since the advent of the 20th century. 13 consecutive wins has been the best they've ever done. This is the last done in 1992 by the Braves. They have not lost a ball game since April 15th. It's been more than 2 weeks since their last loss. There goes Jackson. López, good throw with the tag, and he's out. Good call with the tag.
And you know what's interesting here, John, is watch where this pitch is. That's the one good thing if you're T.Glavine. Because you pitch away so often, you give a good pitch for the catcher to throw. And watch where this pitch is. See, it's out there already, just straightens up and throws a strike. Great throw there by J.López. Well, he actually puts his hand on the bag. When he reached down to tag the bag, he tagged the bag first, but...
And Eric Owens is down on strikes, and that ends the inning. 7 strikeouts for Glavine. López coming up, 7th inning, 1-1.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with pure base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with pure base.
Hi, I am Sammy Sosa, and I am asking people to step up to the plate and take the Pepsi challenge.
I've been a lifelong Coke drinker.
Definitely Coke. See which one tastes better.
That one?
That one.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke.
I'll take Pepsi. I guess I'll have to go with Pepsi.
Welcome to the family. I'm having a great day.
So take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
I worked hard to be a better doctor. I worked hard to be a better businesswoman. I worked hard to build a better practice. How can I make sure my money works hard so I can spend more time just being a better person?
At Lincoln Financial Group, we offer clear, understandable financial planning to help you protect and enjoy the work of a lifetime. Lincoln Financial Group, clear solutions in a complex world.
Been a long day. Do you stop at Red Roof Inn where there's always a friendly face, or take your chances somewhere else? Hi. Shh. I'd like... Could I just...
Busy.
1-1, Braves and Padres, top of the 7th. Damian Jackson caught stealing. Here's a look in full speed. And And see, we see it in that super slow-mo. But when you see it in full speed, nobody in this ballpark thought that he was anything but out.
Well, I thought he was out.
Me too. And you notice there were no arguments from any of the Padres. I mean, Bruce Bochy wasn't storming out of the dugout.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, the throw beat him. He put the tag down. It appeared that he was out. But like you say, it's super slow. It looks a little different.
J.López, who made that great throw, has hit a comebacker and grounded into a double play. Hitchcock has shut him down.
But John, I must say that when I see these pitches in super slow motion, I still think I can hit. It's super slow.
Well, now, I mean, when you played, there must have been times.
Yeah, that looked
the
slow.
ball did look
never super slow, but slower. Yes, when you're hitting well.
High in the air, Damian Jackson. And J.López is now 0 for 3.
John, I was actually kind of hoping that Reggie Sanders played today because, you know, he just broke his 0 for 34 slump, and I could identify with him. I went 0 for 35 once, so I understood what he was going through. You know, and I was pulling for him every day.
And Reggie Sanders with the Padres last year had just a sensational year. Playing a strong outfield, hitting home runs, stealing bases. But Reggie is hitting 139 for Atlanta as Hubbard shows bunt and then has to hop out of harm's way. 1 ball and no strikes. And Reggie had this 0 for 34 stretch. And he broke out of it last night by hitting a double that was lost in the twilight by Eric Owens.
Well, it shows him that his luck is going to change, see?
Then he twisted his ankle.
Hurt. Yeah, that's the problem.
So Sanders will be out for a couple of days. Trinidad Hubbard is flied to shallow right and struck out.
John, it brings me to a point. I wanted to wish one of my ex-teammates, Nolan Ryan, a speedy recovery after his surgery. One of the great...
I forgot you actually played with Nolan.
Nolan was a teammate of mine with the Houston Astros. I learned a lot about pitching from Nolan and talking to Nolan and watching him work.
Joe's got maybe 2 stories about Nolan where it's just nice things about him.
Well, that's probably, John, that's probably better than most hitters. It's probably better than any other hitter. I give him some compliments. All the hitters are mad at him for getting him out and striking him out all those years.
Yeah, and throwing inside every so often. And that's ball 4 to Trinidad Hubbard. That'll bring up R.Furcal. Hitchcock will have to go back into the stretch. Let's take a look now at the gum out in-game box score for the Braves. Q.Veras 2 for 2. He drove in a run. B.Jordan has had a couple of hits, and Furcal really helped manufacture their only run with a single, a steal. He took third on the throw for the catcher, hitting him and ricocheting into left field, and he scored a Veras base hit. Furcal, a switch hitter. He just picked up switch hitting after he signed with the Braves. And this is only his 3rd year in pro ball. But a very exciting young talent. And I mean, we saw the speed for ourselves, but Bobby Cox, the first thing he mentioned about him when we asked Bobby was about the great arm. The best he's seen coming to the league since Sean Dunston first came out.
And that's saying something because Sean had a cannon from shortstop.
2-0 to Furcal.
And Bobby should know about strong arms, too, because he played the left side of the infield, played a little third base when he was in the Dodger organization in the minor leagues.
Bobby also played for the Yankees
in the big leagues.
Sterling Hitchcock. A little bit of trouble here after the walk, and now he's 2-0 to Furcal. He's issued 3 walks. He's had 7 strikeouts in the game. The pitcher, T.Glavine, is on deck. Furcal with a look at Ned Yost, the third base coach. 1-1 in the 7th inning. The Braves are certainly no strangers to games like this. And they don't often lose games like this. That's a strike.
But again, in tight ball games, you win with speed a lot of times, and other times you win with power. And of course, in a close ball game last night, they won with power in the late innings.
And that's what they needed last night. They were down by 3 in the 8th inning. Strike 2. Hubbard, by the way, has never given any indication that he'd be able to steal a base here. He's been flinching back toward first every time Hitchcock has thrown a pitch to Furcal.
But I think they had him take the 3-2 and to send him 3-2. To take the 3-1 pitch, so they could send him on 3 balls and 2 strikes.
There he goes. And it's a foul.
Well, you can tell. Watch how the game is going sometimes, because Bobby had him take 3-1 to automatically set up a hit and run on 3-2 if the pitch was a strike. And he didn't want Furcal to be chasing something out of the strike zone on 3-1. You turn your power hitters a loose 3-1, try to drive the ball. But Furcal is not going to drive the ball that often, so you let him run the count to 3-2. Now you can put the hit and run on and open up the zone for him.
3-2. There goes Hubbard. Off the glove of Klesko. Hubbard, who has excellent speed, is going to be held at third. Klesko throws through to the plate with nobody backing up. Hitchcock was not backing up, and that was a little bit of a high throw. To second is Furcal, and Klesko's inability to come up with that one has put the Padres in a deep hole.
Now watch, he hits this ball, it's spinning away. He just didn't quite get down on it, hit off the tip of his glove. He chases it, but Furcal is going around the bag. I mean, he can fly, I'm telling you.
So that'll be an error all the way on Ryan Klesko, putting runners at second and third. The Braves have a great opportunity here without having had a hit in the inning. T.Glavine, the pitcher, is up now.
Then they're playing the infield end again. They're on the edge of the grass. Now if you're the Braves, you may send him on a chopper. And the reason for that is you have another runner in scoring position, so you can take the chance on trying to score him, and in doing so, the runner at second would just move up to third. You'd still have the runner in scoring position.
Q.Veras, who has not been retired tonight by Hitchcock, is on deck. It's a foul out of play. The Braves, despite their pitchers' previous career success as hitters, Glavine included, not one Braves pitcher has had an RBI this year.
That is amazing, because again, they have some guys that can put the ball in play, and they know how to, know how to hit in those situations, just making sure they make contact.
1 ball, 1 strike. Oh, he reached for it. The slider didn't get it. 1-2 the count. Now, Hitchcock is at about 104 pitches for the game. A couple of years ago, once he was up around 100 pitches, they were looking to get him out of a game. But Bruce Bochy said that he stretched it out last year, and he would not look to get him out now until he was at 120, 125 pitches. Just off the corner, 2-2. I mean, this would have made a difference 2 years ago. Once he was up to this total, they gave him the hook.
Well, John, that was an interesting pitch, and he threw a slider to pitch before. Now watch him. He works from the extreme first base side of the rubber, the opposite of where Glavine works from, and he throws that slider, cross slider, and it gets a good crossfire against the left-handed hitter.
2-2. That's right, the appeal. Well, no appeal necessary. Bruce Fleming made the call himself. Glavine talks to Fleming about it. He's not happy.
Well, I can understand Tom's frustration, because it's easy to call down and ask the guy at third if you want, but Bruce obviously saw something that let him know that he swung the bat before. Now let's take a look here. Well, very close. But again, I think, you see, I think what they're upset about, not that he called him out or that he was out, but that they didn't get help from the third base umpire.
Plate umpire just makes that call himself. He's really just asking for trouble.
Right, because it's easy to call down and just ask for some help.
let the third base umpire get all the trouble.
Yeah, let him get in trouble. You got enough problem just watching the pitch count, watching the pitches.
He's just standing over there most of the night,
doing nothing.
Give him something to do.
Yeah, there's Bill. Hey, Bill, what'd you think?
So runners at second and third. The infield back in normal depth with 2 down. Q.Veras The former Padre, who has driven in the only Atlanta run against Hitchcock tonight, trying to deliver again here with 2 down. He has singled, walked, and then in the 5th inning, he got a 2-out single to drive in R.Furcal. He's got Hubbard at 3rd and R.Furcal at 2nd here with 2 down. I wonder, and I don't know Bruce well enough to wonder this, I guess, but
I know him pretty well.
I mean, that pitch before was a pretty close pitch. And then the check swing, and he makes the call. We wonder if maybe he had second thoughts himself, deep in the recesses of his mind, about the previous pitch.
No, I don't think Bruce had those kind of thoughts.
Bruce is, it was outside. I called it a ball. Move on. Okay, I get it. I see what you're saying.
Well, he certainly told him to move on after he called him out.
2-1 the count. Plus, umpires don't do that.
Yeah,
They all tell us that. Right?
No, not baseball umpires.
So you see it a lot in other sports,
Yeah,
but not in
baseball.
There's Hubbard at 3rd base. R.Furcal at 2nd. If you ever see a situation where you think that's happening, rest assured you're wrong.
You're wrong, right.
Thanks for clearing that up. 2-1 the count to Q.Veras. Down the right field line, foul. Sterling Hitchcock has 8 strikeouts tonight. Only one time in his career has he had as many as 10 strikeouts, which ironically he had 15 strikeouts against the Expos in 1998 in one game. He's pitching quite a game, but he's in a big jam right here. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it's a swing. Hernandez throws him out. Strikeout number 9 for Hitchcock. He gets Klesko off the hook. Nevin and then Klesko coming up.
There's a timeline that runs through the communications business. On one side, companies born before the internet, trying to retrofit old technology. On the other side, companies born digital, every penny going into new networks, new technology. Now the old companies are chasing the new companies. That's the advantage of being born digital. The advantage of WorldCom, Generation T.
It's simple. The home improvement store that can buy and move more products is the store that can sell those products for less. So those sounds you hear, think of them as your volume discount.
There are 7 new people on the internet every second. Every 4th person on the web is buying something right now.
This month,
over $500 million will be spent. One day, there won't be any paper money. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Are you ready?
Hi, I'm testing this new electric car from Ford Motor Company called Think. It's a car you can have a lot of fun with. Watch this. Fill it up, please.
Sure, ma'am.
This car has no gas tank. It's got to be a gas tank, yeah? What are you guys looking for? Gas tank? Why, there's no gas tank.
So, how much do I owe you?
I guess nothing.
I like to do that about once a week, but I'm running out of gas stations.
What's that about?
Play the Big League Challenge on ESPN, sponsored by Heineken. And you could win a trip to the Players' Choice Awards in Las Vegas and play golf with a professional baseball player. Watch the Big League Challenge on ESPN, Thursdays at 7 and Mondays at 12:30 for more details.
ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Gum-Out. It's Atlanta 1, the Padres 1. Last of the 7th inning, T.Glavine against the heart of the Padres order. Here's big Phil Nevin, who hit 24 homers last year and only 383 at-bats. And he takes ball 1. So Glavine will have to be ever so careful here against the powerful Nevin. Nevin just blossomed last year. Was acquired by the Padres in a deal at the end of spring training. That's a foul out of play. They gave up infielder Andy Sheets to the Angels in that deal, and I don't know that many baseball fans around the country made much note of that deal. Looks like a steal for the Padres as Nevin, the more he played last year, the more home runs he started hitting.
He was former #1 draft choice for the Houston Astros.
And it was a huge disappointment for the Astros. Ooh, nice pitch.
That's Glavine at his best. Took a little off right over the outside part of the plate.
1-2 to Nevin. Nevin in this game has grounded to first and grounded to short.
And we haven't seen a big difference in Glavine. We haven't seen a lot of that cut fastball. Well, as soon as I say it, he throws it.
It's almost like you were hoping to see it.
Yeah, well, I thought he had him set up for it because he'd just gone away. He went away with it. Now he comes. Here's the cut fastball back inside. See the movement, late movement inside. And there's a rotation. You can see that little tight spin.
1-1 the score. Change up in the dirt, and it's a full count.
But it tells you he has a lot of confidence in that pitch, John, because normally this late in the ball game, you stay away from the hitter's power. You do not want to make a mistake inside to these big sluggers and let them hit the ball out of the ballpark. But he has enough confidence in that cut fastball that he knew he was going to get it off the plate inside. If he swung, he wasn't going to do much with it.
Strike 3 called in the inside corner. Strikeout number 8 for Tom Glavine.
And that's just changing speeds, moving the ball around, and then you make a perfect pitch. And here's the key. You want to keep the ball down. And this is what Glavine does best. I mean, he just watch the target. Right there, hits the target.
8 strikeouts, only 1 walk, or rather 2 walks for Glavine. And Klesko, who has hit back to Glavine and grounded to short. Glavine has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters that he's faced. Seems like he's, if anything, getting stronger here as the game goes along. He's only allowed 2 hits, but he's in a 1-1 tie. His old teammate, Klesko. Klesko's a guy you don't like to see get those arms extended.
Right. But it's still interesting to me that Glavine being on the left hand, the third base side of the rubber, that he really doesn't bother left-handed hitters because he can't start the curveball at them if he wants to throw it. He has to start the curveball toward the inside part of the plate. So you will never see a left-handed hitter buckle, and if you can't buckle a left-handed hitter, you really do not have a big advantage over him. And you can see everything's pretty much away. I think he realizes that. And he's set up to get right-handed hitters out because he's going to face far more right-handers than he will left-handed hitters.
2-1 to Klesko. And a changeup. 2-2. Klesko, 6 homers, 20 RBIs for the Padres, off to a fine start.
Well, we've seen Klesko take 2 big swings at the pitches from Glavine. Let's see if he cuts down a little bit, try to stay back through the middle, which is what you have to do to be successful against left-handed pitching.
There's a curveball, popped up foul and out of play. 2-2 to Klesko. 1 out, nobody on. Last of the 7th inning. The Padres gum out in-game box score. Eric Owens has been the offense. A home run back in the 4th inning. For their only run, Carlos Hernandez is the only other Padre to have a hit against Glavine. And is pitching another dazzler. He beat the Dodgers with a 3-hitter last Tuesday, 1-0. He's in a 1-1 game here. Klesko hits a high pop-up. R.Furcal, the shortstop.
Well, he did try to go the other way. He didn't try to jerk the ball out of the ballpark with 2 strikes. Just got under it. And watch, you'll see a little difference in his swing. That front shoulder will stay in there a lot longer. See how his front shoulder stayed in there longer on that pitch than it had been on the other ones where he was trying to jerk the ball. That's more of a line drive type swing right there. He was trying to hit a line drive to left center field.
Which is a pretty good approach, I think, for him.
Well, especially with 2 strikes against a left-handed pitcher.
I think he'd hit a lot of home runs with that approach all the time.
Yeah, well, he's definitely
a strong guy.
Can drive the ball out in left center field.
Brett Boone, the hitter. Now the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Nevin, Klesko, and Boone. All dangerous hitters. Tonight they are 0 for 8 collectively against T.Glavine. Changeup misses. Nevin is 0 for 3. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Plesko is 0 for 3. 2 groundouts and a pop-out. Boone is 0 for 2 with a groundout and a strikeout. So none of these 3 guys has even hit the ball out of the infield against T.Glavine. Fastball away. 2-1. Now that is dominant pitching. Damian Jackson and Corey DeHaan are the only Padres who've even hit the ball to the warning track or even close to it in the outfield. Owens, of course, had the home run for their only run. 2-2 now to Brett Boone. We're in the 7th inning. Now the Braves in their 8th inning will have Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, and Andres Galarraga coming up. So they'll be taking some shots against Sterling Hitchcock come the 8th inning. Brett Boone hitting .320. Off the fist, right back to Glavine. Well, Glavine is on a roll. So are the Braves, trying to extend their winning streak to 13. Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, and Galarraga coming up.
All the world over so easy to say. People everywhere just wanna be free.
AirTouch Cellular has become Verizon Wireless. Join in.
All the world over so easy to say. People everywhere just wanna be free.
AirTouch Cellular has become Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Think you've seen it all?
Think again.
It's your life.
Live it.
It's your time.
Use it.
It's your future.
Protect it.
Air Force Reserve. What a way to spend your time.
1-800-257-1212.
You know, a dime seems rather insignificant in today's global economy now, doesn't it? But for just a dime a word, you can place your general merchandise private party classified ad in Nickel Ads. Use the exclusive paper for those looking to buy and sell. That's why we call Nickel Ads serious classifieds. And right now, get some serious results for just a dime a word. You know, for 10 cents a word, you might not change the world's economic structure, but you just might clean out your garage, huh? Nickel Ads, serious classifieds.
Sunday Night Baseball is brought to you by Gum Out. Drive your fuel system clean with a complete line of Gum Out Performance Fuel Additives. And in part by Mitsubishi Motors, the new 2000 Montero Sport. Wake up and drive.
Top of the 8th inning in San Diego. It is 1-1, and Sterling Hitchcock with shades of the 1998 League Championship Series when he beat the Braves twice. He beat both Maddox and Glavine, and he was the MVP of that series. There's some moments from 98. Andres Galarraga down on strikes. Chipper Jones down on strikes, and Hitchcock, Joe, is showing us that MVP form from October of 98 so far here tonight against the Atlanta Braves as Andrew Jones fouls one off. It is 0-1. Chipper Jones and Andres Galarraga, by the way, will be following Andrew Jones here in the 8th inning. A 1-1 game. There's Galarraga due 3rd in the inning. Andrews 0 for 2 with a walk.
John, this is an interesting situation. I talked to Kevin Towers earlier in the week, and we were talking about the fact there were home runs hit here, but he also talked about the fact that most of his starters were high-pitch kind of starters. They threw a lot of pitches, and therefore they have 12 pitchers on their staff, whereas the Braves only have 11. And they were going to Enron Field, and they knew that they were going to, need the bullpen, so they've been pitching, carrying 12 pitchers, whereas the Braves are only carrying 11. I think that's interesting. And because Hitchcock is still in the ball game, and he's up to 113 pitches.
2 strikes the count. Reached for and bounced foul. The Braves, Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, and Galarraga, all hitting over 300 for the year, but all hitless tonight. In fact, Chipper Jones and Galarraga have each struck out twice and each hit 1 ground ball against Hitchcock. I mean, he's just been fabulous against those 2 sluggers. Andrew has hit a double play ball and struck out in addition to the walk.
Well, I think the one thing that he did to all these guys, meaning Galarraga, Chipper Jones, and also Andrew Jones, he threw them inside their first at bat. He let them know that he would come inside, and since that time, he's had them chasing pitches away. He has not come back inside, and he's doing the same thing here to Andrew Jones. Everything is away.
A little bit low, maybe a little off the corner as well. I mean, Andrew Jones had to have nerves of steel to take that pitch with 2 strikes. But he would not go out of the zone. 2-2 the count. Dangerous, powerful hitter up here. Well, he went in with that one, and Andrew Jones hit it about 19 miles. That's going up to Escondido.
That's behind him also almost. But that's one of the reasons I think you have to stay away from these sluggers this late in the ball game. You set them up early in the game and say, so they know you will come inside, but I think you have to pretty much stay away from these guys in a tight ball game.
It goes away again there with the splitter. Misses.
Because either one of them, Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, or Galarraga, can hit the ball out of the ballpark. So you make them go back up the middle if you can, hit a home run to center field or right center. You don't let them try to go inside and make a mistake over the inside part of the plate, and all they have to do is turn on it.
3-2. The third, Nevadu was hugging the line. Got a bad hop at the last. Throws high. Safe at first. Klesko made the tag, but Mike Winters ruled that Andrew Jones was already there. That ball took a funny hop at the last. Instead of a high hop, it hit a soft spot. And Nevin had to shoot his glove downward at the last. Then his hurried throw was too high. An error charged, and Bruce Bochy picks up Klesko's argument with Winters. Well, I mean, that Andrew should have been called out.
But Klesko thought he was in front of the bag, meaning closer to home plate, so that when he tagged him, he wasn't on the bag. Winters is saying that his foot was on the bag when Klesko tagged him. And Bochy, of course, is upset. They've lost a couple of games to the Braves. Well, you see, he dips down, he takes that funny hop. Now he throws high. Well, you can see that he's clearly on the bag when he is tagged. Now watch this. Watch his foot. Don't watch the tag. Watch his foot. It's on the bag. Now he comes down. I don't think there's any doubt that he's safe, that Winters made the proper call. See, his foot's on the bag, and he hits him when his foot is on the bag.
Excellent call.
Good call.
Now Chipper Jones, National League MVP. And Andrew Jones, the guy with excellent speed, 2 steals so far this year.
I don't think this is a situation where Hitchcock has to worry about Andrew Jones stealing the base right here. I think he needs to give his full concentration to Chipper Jones at the plate.
Chipper 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a comebacker. Just off the outside.
See, this is a situation where you worry about the runner at first. You try to give him different moves, and then that takes a little bit of your concentration away, and you make a bad pitch to Chipper Jones, and Andrew Jones will not have to worry about stealing any bases. So I think you have to just give him your normal move and then concentrate solely on Chipper Jones at the plate.
It was especially lethal late in tight games. Fastball to the inside. Well, he missed outside, now missed inside, and didn't miss by much on either side. But he's behind Chipper Jones 2-0. In the bullpen, left-hander Kevin Walker, right-hander Carlos Almanzar warming up.
I don't think Almanzar wants to see Galarraga. He's given up 2 home runs to him in the last 2 days,
including a 3-run 8th-inning shot last night. That's a strike, knee-high outside, and pretty pitch. 2-1.
That was an excellent pitch, John. He was in trouble. 2 balls and no strikes, and Chipper Jones is sitting there waiting for something he can drive, and he takes a little bit off. There it is. Change up right on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch.
2-1 to Chipper. He hit .456 in these kinds of situations last year. Best in the majors. in what we call late inning pressure situation with the team tied or trailing by 3 runs or less, where the hits count the most. Glavine and Hitchcock, a couple of lefties locked up in an outstanding duel. 1-1, 8th inning. Big pitch here again. 3-1. Well, we mentioned Chipper Jones and his late inning prowess from last year. Andres Galarraga with 10 home runs this year, and 7 of them have been hit in the 6th inning or later, including 2 in this series. He put them ahead with a homer in the 7th inning Friday and tied the game with a 3-run homer last night in the 8th inning. Galarraga on deck. 3-1 to Chipper. 3-2. T.Glavine locked up in this tight duel and got a little nervous energy in the dugout there.
He's probably at this point said, just give me one. I just need one.
He's doing Harry Carey's old line. Let's get some runs. 3-2. Andrew Jones at first. He's running. Chipper's down on strikes.
Foul ball.
No, he fouled it. So he is knocked down. He is still up there, still alive, just barely.
And that was interesting because Andrew Jones got a real late break. He's trying to make sure he doesn't get picked off. And Chipper fouls this, and he stays alive.
Sterling Hitchcock now at 125 pitches thrown for this game. So he is getting near the time of the game where they'll keep a real close eye on him. And he's at that part of the game. Steps off the slab, snaps it over there. Terry Mulholland now with the Atlanta Braves. It's probably the best there is at that particular pickoff throw. Mulholland has been pitching well lately for Atlanta. 3-2 the count. Jones runs. Chipper pops it foul and back out of play.
Well, to be honest with you, John, Andrew Jones is running, but he's getting such a late break that he really doesn't affect a lot of things. If there's a one hopper to the shortstop, they will still be able to go to second and get the double play. The reason you run is to stay out of the double play and to open up a hole and maybe give him a chance to get the third. Now watch. See the ball, look at that. I mean, he's so far away that he's not going to affect the play at second base anyway. If he strikes out, he's going to be thrown out easily.
There he goes. Deep and foul down the left field line. Very deep, but very foul. 3-2. Andrew again will have to go back to first base. Braves have only 5 hits. Padres have only 2 hits. Sterling Hitchcock at 127 pitches for the game. This will be the 9th pitch to Chipper Jones in this at bat. Andrew runs, and that is ball 4. So the error followed by the walk, and here's the big cat. We mentioned what he did Friday with the game tied in the 7th inning. He homered a solo shot. The Braves went on to win, and then last night in the 8th inning, down 4-1, he hit a 3-run homer, and that tied the ball game. They went on to win it in the 12th inning.
And both of those home runs came off Almanzar.
Now Dave Smith, the pitching coach for the Padres, goes out to talk to Sterling Hitchcock. Galarraga has been at his best in the clutch in these situations this year. Galarraga tonight, however, has grounded a third and twice struck out against Sterling Hitchcock.
And if you're Bruce Bochy, you're trying to make a decision. You say, well, you know, he's been able to handle Galarraga. Galarraga has been swinging at bad pitches, meaning he's not picking the ball up well from Hitchcock. Now, if I take Hitchcock out and bring someone else in, Galarraga may see the ball well, and I might be in trouble. So I think that's the reason that he's going to leave Hitchcock in, because we've mentioned he's thrown a lot of pitches, which is, you know, not a normal thing for him.
Well, we know that he sees the ball pretty well against Almanzar.
Yeah, we know that, and I think that's what Bochy is thinking. In my opinion, this is probably his last hitter, even if he gets him out, unless he looks very sharp.
Nobody out, 2 men on, and Andres Galarraga, he is 1 for 10 in his career against Hitchcock. 0 for 3 tonight. A little bit low. So he starts behind Galarraga. Andrew Jones reached on the throwing error by Phil Nevin. Chipper Jones at first. Walk. 4 walks by Hitchcock. 9 strikeouts. 1 ball and no strikes. Changeup for a strike.
See, the tough part here is when you're working through this lineup, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, and Galarraga, you've got to make perfect pitches. I mean, misses with a pitch. Now he has to come back with a great pitch. I mean, you can't just make normal pitches and get them out in this late game situation. You have to make great pitches.
A ball and a strike. Fastball. Got it right in under the hands. Galarraga hit it ever so slowly foul. And now Hitchcock is ahead of him. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And again, that's a great pitch. He threw a changeup over the outside corner. Then he comes up with a cut fastball on the inside corner. If either of those pitches are 6 inches more toward the middle of the plate, he's probably in trouble. You have to keep making great pitches.
And he's made a lot of pitches in this inning. This is his 21st pitch of the inning. And still, there are no outs in the inning. And that will move the runners up.
Well, he tried to finish him off with the splitter that Galarraga's been swinging at the entire ball game, but that's the danger of that pitch. Bouncing and getting away. Because he tries to put a little extra on it to strike him out, and you can see that ball hits way in front of the plate, and there was really not much of a chance for Carlos Hernandez to knock that ball down. Now what do you do? It looks like they're going to play the infield halfway.
You see it. 2-2 to Galarraga.
They were in on the grass when T.Glavine was hitting. Now they're halfway. Gives them a little more range.
2-2 the count. And the splitter for the strikeout. Hernandez, who trapped it in the dirt, tags out Galarraga. That's the 3rd straight time that Galarraga has struck out.
And it's a good job by Sterling Hitchcock. I told you he had to make great pitches. He misses with a ball. Now this is a great pitch. Change up right on the outside corner. Now he comes back, good fastball inside. Now he comes with that splitter, which got away, but here it is again, and he strikes him out. You have to make great pitches in those situations, and he did so.
Well, he's made some, and he needs to make a few more.
Well, when you get yourself in trouble in the middle of this lineup, you do have to make a few more.
You got J.Jordan up, and then Javi Lopez.
I think you have to walk Jordan personally.
And that's what they're going to do.
I think what you're doing, not so much just to walk Jordan to get to Javi Lopez, because I think Lopez is one of the best clutch hitters in the game. But what you're doing is you're giving yourself one chance to get out of this inning. If you can get a ground ball, you're out of the inning. If you pitch to Jordan and you pop him up, then you still have to get another hitter out. So you're giving yourself a chance to come out of this with 1 ground ball now, and that's the best you can do in this situation.
Lopez has hit 1 double play ball tonight and has not gotten the ball out of the infield. Jordan has had a double and a single in this game, and Lopez has hit a comebacker, hit a double play ball, and popped out to short.
And John, I think you have to leave Hitchcock in, because I don't know if you want to bring someone in from the bullpen at this stage with the bases loaded and no margin for error. When he comes out of the bullpen, he's got to immediately start throwing strikes or he's in big trouble. So I think you're going to see Bruce Bochy leave him in to pitch to Javi Lopez, even though he's right-handed.
Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, J.Jordan, the base runners. And so, perhaps the game from the Padres end has come down to this. 1 out, 3 men on, and the dangerous Javi Lopez at the plate. 3 homers for the year, but tonight he has not gotten the ball out of the infield against Hitchcock, but this is now Hitchcock who is laboring. Over 130 pitches thrown for the game. And a splitter, 0-1.
And that's great to be able to throw that splitter, John, but there's also the danger again of the ball bouncing away. You know, we've talked on a lot of occasions about how you take that diving slider away from a pitcher with the bases loaded. Well, the splitter works the same way, and Hernandez was just lucky enough that his glove caught, tip of his glove, knocked that ball down.
Sterling Hitchcock. A gritty performance. Delivers. Too far in with the cutter. You can see 87 miles an hour. One of the highest readings he's had on our radar gun tonight. As he closes in on 140 pitches thrown. T.Glavine hoping for some run support here in a 1-1 tie. The splitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you have to give Hernandez a lot of credit, John. One got away, but that's the only one that's gotten away in this entire ball game. He is able to block this ball. I mean, this is a tough pitch. I mean, the pressure is there. Look at that pitch. Bounces, and he's able to knock it down and keep it in front of him. And you have to have confidence in your catcher to keep throwing it.
I mean, we're talking about a spot here where 1 run may beat you. And he knocked it down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The big crowd gets into it. Base hit to left field. Andrew Jones is in. Here comes Chipper Jones. The throw cut off by Nevin. The throw to third. Too late. B.Jordan beats the play there. It's a single, 2 RBIs for J.López. And it is 3-1 Atlanta.
And I tell you what, that's why J.López is such a great clutch hitter. If you want to call it a mistake, I'm not going to say it was a mistake by Hitchcock. He had bounced a couple, but you can't keep bouncing the ball. He throws this pitch away. It's down, but J.López gets something that he can handle, and he pulls it in the hole for a base hit. I mean, this is just good hitting. I mean, look at this. Pitches away, and it's down, and he pulls it in the hole for a base hit.
And you can see the anguish on the face of Sterling Hitchcock. His 140th pitch, and he's out of here. 3-1 Atlanta. We'll be back.
How come Joe Namath was more popular than Johnny Unitas? Both were great quarterbacks. Both jerseys hang in the Hall of Fame. But then, only one quarterback was ever seen on the sidelines wearing a full-length mink coat. The all-new Mitsubishi Montero. Nicely equipped at $31,000. Toughness meets style.
Where does courage begin? In the body, the mind, or in the heart? At American General Financial Group, we're here to help the ones who never give up their dreams. With retirement services, investments, life insurance, and consumer loans. So courage is crowned with the greatest victory. To live and be well and be happy. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. We're rolling back prices all over the place. So put on a happy face.
At Walmart, we're always rolling back prices because we know how much you like to save. Walmart, always low prices, always.
In our family, men lose their hair early.
Thank you.
By the time we hit 30, we don't have to invest much in combs. So I started using Rogaine when I was like 28, at the first sign of fallout. Before I looked like I needed it, because I knew I would. So here I am. I've been using Rogaine for about 2 years now, right at the source of the problem, and I don't see any difference. And that's the idea. You keep the hair you have. Look, I love my dad. I'm just not in a rush to look like him. Simple, safe, smart. Rogaine. It's stronger than heredity.
For 125 years, it has lived up to its billing as the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. And you have the inside track. First, watch the Kentucky Oaks Friday at 5 on ESPN. Then Saturday is Derby Day on ESPN2, ESPN, and ABC.
Sunday Night Baseball from San Diego. 3-1. Atlanta has gone ahead for the first time in the game on the bases-loaded single by J.López, and now Carlos Almanzar, 26-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic, is on in relief to face Trinidad Hubbard with runners at first and third. The Braves now are threatening to get more. Only 1 out. The infield double play death.
And a great base running play there by B.Jordan to get to third base from first base with the ball hit into left field where it's a short throw. Good hustle.
On the inside for a strike. Quite a gritty performance by Sterling Hitchcock. And remember, this inning started on the error by Nevin at third, then a walk, then a strikeout, an intentional walk. Jordan, the man who was walked intentionally, who made it to third with some great base running. Lopez at first with the clutch hit.
I think Hitchcock pitched great under the circumstances. I don't think he made but one mistake, and I think that was he gave too much concentration to Andrew Jones after the error. But he made some great pitches. I mean, the last pitch was a good pitch that Javier Lopez hit. I mean, both guys did their job. He made the pitch, and Lopez found the hole on the left side.
2-1 the count. Deep into left field. Al Martin going back, all the way back. No, it's gone, a home run. A 3-run homer for Trinidad Hubbard. And the second straight day that Almanzar has given up a 3-run homer in the 8th inning. And suddenly it is 6-1 Atlanta. And that 13th consecutive win is coming into focus for the red-hot Braves. Trinidad Hubbard with his first homer of the year in his 20th at bat.
Well, it's a high fastball, and I mean, he gets it. He's not sure he got enough of it because it's a high fly ball. Al Martin went back to the fence. He made a jump. He leaped up to try to catch it, but it's over the wall.
Now R.Furcal into right center field, and it is caught by DeHaan. This has been a tense, tight ball game, and suddenly the Braves have busted it wide open.
But, John, this also tells you why the Braves have won 12 in a row going into tonight's ballgame. They have manufactured runs. They got the run, stealing the base for a call to keep this a tie ball game going into the 8th inning. And then they just kept putting pressure on Sterling Hitchcock and the Padres. And now they've been able to display this power and RBI producing base hits. So, I mean, that's why they're such a good ball club.
And the primary beneficiary of all of this sudden offense is at the plate.
Well, they're no longer just a big bang kind of a ball club. You know, they hit a lot of home runs before, but now they're a team that can beat you in a lot of different ways, and they still have that great pitching staff.
And the Braves, it's been said about this version of the Braves that they may have more depth than they've had in a long while. Not just a great lineup, but plenty of firepower coming off the bench. I mean, they got Bobby Bonilla they could have gone to tonight if needed. Wally Joyner is available. I mean, Walt Weiss is sitting on the bench. There's Bobby Bowe talking over with Trinidad Hubbard. And that's strike 3 to Glavine. But Glavine will head to the mound in the last of the 8th inning with a 5-run lead. And there's Sterling Hitchcock on his 140th pitch. Gave up the 2-run single to Javi Lopez. Now the Braves are close to number 13.
Which Sports Center do you watch? Mornings, evenings, late nights? Only on ESPN.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base.
I'm not going to let my retirement growth potential get lost in the excitement of a new job.
These days, people are likely to change jobs 7 or 8 times. Unfortunately, many job changers don't take control of their 401ks and actively manage those assets.
Fidelity's Rollover Express, now online, is an easy way to take charge of your retirement plan savings with access to investment choices and funds with a history of solid performance. Just call 1-800-FIDELITY or visit fidelity.com.
Yesterday, if you went to your typical home improvement store to get laminate flooring, you'd also get glue, gobs of glue. Today, with Lowe's selection of Armstrong Swiftlock, laminate flooring is a snap. Literally, each board simply locks together. No muss, no fuss, no glue, and all at guaranteed low prices. Could we make this any easier? Armstrong Swiftlock flooring, only at Lowe's, improving home improvement.
announcing the world premiere of the all-new Chevy Tahoe. More power, more room, more SUV. It's nowhere near anything Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Atlanta 6, the Padres 1. When it had been 1-1, a 5-run 8th inning for Atlanta. Now T.Glavine to Carlos Hernandez. And it is 2-0 for ball 1. The 104th pitch thrown tonight by Glavine. And he's got a 2-hitter going. The only run for the Padres, a 4th inning homer by Eric Owens. Hernandez has the other hit, a 3rd inning single. He's also lined out to the shortstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. 44,845. The official paid attendance tonight at Qualcomm Stadium, with more than 49,000 here last night. J.López in foul territory, and Hernandez is out number 1. Qualcomm Stadium out in the Mission Valley, the home of the Padres and also the San Diego Chargers of the NFL. That's the look from high above this ballpark. And the aerial pictures tonight being provided by the Gum-Out aerial camera. Now Corey DeHaan, he was a Rule 5 draftee from the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Last year he played in Single A and Double A for the Pirates, and drafted during the winter meetings in December.
And it's very difficult for him to run up there against a guy like T.Glavine, who is a veteran pitcher and knows exactly how to get hitters out, and this young player trying to learn to hit here in the big leagues.
And ordinarily he would not be in there, but he's got himself a base hit against T.Glavine.
Well, he hit the ball well last time up to left center field, and he went that way this time and gets a base hit. Although he hit it off the end of the bat, but a good job there by DeHaan.
Bobby Cox signaling over to Andres Galarraga as to what he wants Andres to do with the runner over there. And now Dave Magadan just activated from the disabled list today. Ordinarily Tony Gwynn would be in there against Glavine, but Gwynn was placed on the disabled list before the game with a bad knee. And Ruben Rivera, a right-handed hitting outfielder, is still out with an injury. So here's Magadan, a left-handed hitter against Glavine, but he's done awfully well against Glavine over the years.
But again, you know, Glavine is not your typical left-handed pitcher that bothers left-handed hitters. He bothers right-handed hitters as much as he bothers the left-handers because he throws straight over the top, and he can't get that crossfire or the angle with his breaking ball against the left-handed hitter because he's on the third base side of the rubber.
Padres, the second, well, really the 3rd straight game of this series, all 3 games in this series, having problems with their bullpen. Donnie Wall, who is their normal setup man in the 8th inning, he's unable to go right now, although he's still on the active list. They tried to warm him up last night to go into the 8th inning, and Bruce Bochy got the call from the bullpen that Wall could not make it. Kevin Walker up, a left-hander out there right now. So then he ended up going with Will Canane, and he let the first 2 guys get on base. He brought in Almanzar, and Galarraga hit the 3-run homer last night. Here's second, there's 1, and Q.Veras back to first, double play, and just like that the inning is over. T.Glavine 3 outs away from his 5th consecutive win. 6-1 Atlanta.
Think something that small can't hurt your car? Even smaller carbon deposits can clog your car's fuel injectors. So use Gum-Out Extra Fuel Injector Cleaner to get rid of deposits for smoother overall performance. And did I mention better acceleration?
Drive your fuel injectors clean with Gum-Out Extra.
When water attacks, it can transform your beautiful deck into a danger zone. Boards warp and crack, weakening your deck. But Thompson's gives you the highest level of water protection available to protect your deck like no other. Thompson's. It never takes a day off, guaranteed.
Annie Matthews, what's on your plate today?
Today's going to be great, but really busy. 10, maybe 15 cuts.
Lunch is here, Annie.
I'll probably grab a quick bite when I can.
Annie, your 2 o'clock's here.
And maybe get heartburn. I used to think Tums if I'd already eaten. Not anymore.
You can take Pepsid AC whenever you need it. Pepsid AC controls heartburn before, during, or even after you eat.
Of course I can take you.
No matter what's on your plate, today should be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
Baby, show me 1 + 1 is 2. Show me all the things that you can do.
From coast to coast, from high to goodbye. That's the power of 2. Introducing Sprint 1000. 1,000 minutes of long distance for just $20 a month. That's as low as 2 cents a minute. Every night or all weekend long. The choice is yours. That's the power of 2. Anything more would be too much.
Baby, show me 1 + 1 is 2.
Switch to Sprint 1000 at 1-800-PIN-DROP.
Now, get the Wall Street Journal delivered for 13 weeks at just 57 cents a day, or 25% savings. Call now, 800-255-6600. That's 800-255-6600 for the Wall Street Journal.
Dan Patrick at TGI Fridays. Can I have the autograph, please?
Sure, bye.
Thanks, Mr. Patrick.
Don't mention it.
There is Kevin Walker, 23-year-old left-hander out of Grand Prairie High School in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. A rookie on to face Q.Veras here in the 9th inning. Atlanta leading 6-1. The Braves closing in on their 13th consecutive victory. They have not lost since April the 15th. Q.Veras had driven in their only run until their 5-run 8th inning, and a soft liner caught it short by Jackson. The Q.V.O. 2 for 4 with a walk tonight and an RBI against his old team, and that will bring up Andrew Jones. And Joe, that 8th inning rally started with an 8-pitch at bat by Andrew. A ground ball to third. It hit a little funny spot there. Nevin not only had to go down to get it, but then his hurried throw to first because Andrew Jones ran so hard. I mean, he's got great speed. We talked about this before. I put that in the category of a forced error.
Yeah. Well, you definitely know that when he hits the ball, you don't have time to set yourself as you would with, say, a catcher running. But that really was the downfall. And then the fact that I thought Hitchcock was worried about him at first base, and that took a little of his concentration away from Chipper Jones, because he made some great pitches in that inning. And, you know, sometimes you gain your teammates' respect even in a loss when they see how hard you worked and how hard you competed out there. And he really competed well today. And, you know, when you throw 140-plus pitches and you're still competing as hard as you were on the first pitch, that really tells you something. And your teammates see that, and they appreciate that.
Andrew Jones gets the walk. We want to remind you to log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com for the most complete baseball coverage on the internet. I logged on there on Friday, Joe, in the afternoon. I was getting ready to go work a ball game. Just getting some info, and was able to tune in the Cubs radio broadcast. So tune in any radio broadcast on MajorLeagueBaseball.com.
You did tell me I have to have a computer, though, to log on, right?
You haven't got one yet? Yeah. I hope you get cable one day soon. Chipper Jones, the hitter, up and in. Now, after that 8-pitch at bat to Andrew Jones, and he reached on the error in the 8th inning, Chipper Jones had a 9-pitch battle with Sterling Hitchcock and eventually walked. And that's when it got real serious. That's low for a ball. And those 2 at-bats, Joe, for a pitcher who had thrown 111 pitches going into the inning. And they were all critical pitches.
Yeah. Stressful pitches.
Yeah. And finally, on the 140th pitch, he did not get the ball quite where he wanted it to Javi Lopez. And Lopez stroked it into left field for the 2-run single that the Braves had been looking for all night long. Quite a gritty performance by Sterling Hitchcock. Three and one, and that is is another walk. So Chipper Jones walked for the second straight time. Andrew Jones, who had walked, moves over to second. And you see the frustration for Bruce Bochy.
And I think that's what he's upset about. Last night they had a 4-1 lead, and they also walked a couple of hitters, and then Galarraga hit a 3-run homer. I think that's part of his problem right now, is he feels that they're giving away too many games, giving away base runners, and then putting themselves in situations where they have to make perfect pitches.
Andres Galarraga 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. One almost hit him. 1 ball and no strikes. Kevin Walker from Grand Prairie High School. When he was in high school there, he had a teammate by the name of Kerry Wood. And his old high school teammate, Kerry Wood, is scheduled to make his Major League debut for the year 2000 on Tuesday for the Chicago Cubs.
I think it'd be a pretty good pitching staff, huh? 1 righty and 1 lefty.
The Grand Prairie Bulldogs, I believe. Thanks to broadcast for the Texas Rangers, 1978-79. And in September, it was not uncommon for us to be outdrawn by the Grand Prairie High School football game.
Well, Texas is big on football, though. I mean, Texas, that's the way of life in Texas.
I'd always heard that.
Texas high school football.
I'd always heard that, and then I experienced it. Galarraga back to the backstop. 2-2 to Andres Galarraga. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. I've been meaning to say that all night long, and I'm glad I got it off my chest. 2-2 to Galarraga. Brian Jordan on deck. The Braves are leading 6-1 in the 9th inning. The third, Nevin, from a sitting position, gets the force out at second. I mean, the footing apparently for Nevin tonight on at least a couple of ground balls has been treacherous over there at third base.
Well, that was hit pretty hard right in the hole, and he did a good job. Watch where he had to go. He dives over, gets it. Now, like you said, he doesn't try to get up this time, John. He just decides, well, I can't get up anyway. I'll just throw it from the seat of my pants, and he makes a good play. Now watch, he just throws this from the seat of his pants and gets a force out at second base.
Now Brian Jordan, runners at first and third, 2 down, and that's ball 1. Jordan has doubled. He's had an infield single. He's grounded out, and then in the 8th inning, he was walked intentionally. 6-1, Atlanta leading. 2 home runs hit tonight. Now I told you I was on the computer the other day, and I went to ESPN.com because they got both Peter Gammons and Jason Stark. I mean, these are the 2 heavy hitter baseball writers, both on ESPN.com now. Up the middle, base hit. Coming in to score is Andrew Jones. Stopping at second is Galarraga. Jordan gets his 3rd hit of the game and his first RBI. In fact, that is only Brian Jordan's 5th RBI of the season. It is now 7-1 Atlanta.
Well, this is the kind of game that Jordan needed. He has 3 base hits. He's been struggling to hit right back through the middle. He tries to turn, his glove slips off, and he's not able to make the play. This ball is by him before the glove comes off. He didn't throw it at it. The ball went by him, and he just slipped off.
Now Javi Lopez, the hero of the piece for Atlanta tonight with his clutch hit against Hitchcock in the 8th. Anyway, all of these home runs being hit, and Jason Stark went to a lot of people around the game for theories about it, including Doug Glanville of the Philadelphia Phillies. When Glanville out of the Ivy League, a Penn graduate, and he brought up, this is my favorite theory, Joe, the solar flare from the star Betelgeuse. And this apparently was an actual occurrence in the cosmos that affected the Earth's gravitational field. Now, this is real stuff. This really happened. And it reduced the strength of the gravitational field. Now, he had a whole
I hope he had a better formula than that.
It reduced the strength of the gravitational field by a factor of 1.3.
Okay, give me a formula.
Then the equation F equals mg.
Okay, now I can deal with that. Now you got my attention.
All right, because I know you're a college graduate.
Yeah, right. You have my attention now with formulas and stuff.
Cal State
deal with that. Yes, I can deal with that.
All right. The gravitational strength has been reduced by this same factor.
Okay.
And in effect, the way I read it, and maybe I misinterpreted, Glanville's theory is it's the solar flare from the star Betelgeuse has turned every ballpark in the country into Coors Field.
Okay.
Strike 3.
I'm glad at the end of the inning I don't have to respond.
We'll get into that in greater detail when we return. 7-1 Atlanta after 8.5.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with both legs.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism, so you end up burning more calories.
Strength training these days isn't just for men. It's great for women, too. And Bowflex is designed for both. It's even been called the best home gym by Fitness Magazine.
Use as little as 5 pounds to more than 400 pounds of resistance. Follow our 6-week fast fat loss program or create your own from over 60 different health club quality exercises.
Bowflex is easy to own, and it fits in any room in your house. It comes with a 6-week guarantee on results, and you can finance it with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
Smooth and refreshing as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch beer.
Greg McMichael comes on now to pitch the 9th inning for Atlanta. He'll face the top of the Padres batting order. And for T.Glavine, 3 more outs here from McMichael will give Glavine his 5th win in the month of April, which would equal an all-time Braves record for a Braves franchise that goes back to the 19th century. I want to remind you now, stay tuned. Sports Center will follow the game. And both Pedro Martinez and Randy Johnson pitch today. So we'll take you around the horn, around all of Major League Baseball, and show you what happened with those great stars and everything else that happened in baseball today. Big Mac went deep. Then the NBA playoffs. Dan Patrick and Trey Wingo bring you Sports Center on ESPN right after the ballgame. Joe is going to be at Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, Wednesday at 7 Pacific time to see these Braves again against the Dodgers on ESPN. And then Joe and I will be at Dodger Stadium next Sunday. Al Martin fouls one off the left field line, back out of play. Greg McMichael at one time was the Braves closer. He's traveled a lot since then. Sinker baller.
He was a different kind of a closer because he used his changeup a lot, along with his sinker.
1993, he had 19 saves for the Braves. Was not the closer the whole year. Became the closer during that season. And was a rookie that year. Finished 2nd in Rookie of the Year balloting behind Mike Piazza. John Rocker does not figure to get into this one. He did get the save here last night in the 12th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2 to count. Greg McMichael, since that rookie season, he's been with the Mets, the Dodgers, back to the Mets, and even with Oakland last year. Base hit to right field. Al Martin's first hit. He's 1 for 3. He's also walked. Now Damian Jackson will come up. Tonight, as usual, on Sunday Night Baseball, we are joined by the Gum Out aerial camera giving us shots like this high above Qualcomm Stadium here in San Diego. Damian Jackson is flied out, struck out, and walked. 0 for 2. The big play in this game, he was caught attempting to steal in the 6th inning on just a sensational throw by J.López.
Right.
Lest we forget that Javi has done more than just get that big base hit in the 8th inning. I mean, that was a big play with the big hitters up for the Padres back in the 6th inning.
Well, not only that, you have to remember it was the tie ball game at that time, and if the Padres could have gone ahead, they probably would have had to pinch hit for Glavine or something along the way, and he may not have been able to, so it could have made a big difference in the ball game.
Jackson reaching for one out of the strike zone. Strike 3. 1 out. Be sure and check out ESPN, the magazine, on Wednesday. The new edition on newsstands. On the cover, Barry Bonds. He just can't keep his secrets from our Dan Patrick. Also NBA and NHL playoff coverage. Barry Bonds on the cover. Pick up your issue now. ESPN magazine. Peter Pasquarelli, our favorite.
Yes, my favorite.
Base hit to right field by Eric Owens. So he, who had driven in the Padres' only run with a homer in the 4th, singles to right here and is 2 for 4. Now Phil Nevin. 7-1, Atlanta leading here in the 9th inning. Curt Schilling made his return to the big leagues today for the Phillies. Gave up a couple of home runs to St. Louis. Although the way it's going so far this year, just 2 home runs to the Cardinals means you pitched pretty well.
It means you did a heck of a job.
Jim Edmonds and Mark McGwire took him deep. Looked to me like he had a lot of strikeouts.
He was in double-digit strikeouts.
But the Cardinals won the game 4-3. Darryl Kyle got another win.
You think he's happy to be out of Colorado? I think he would have paid them to get him out.
Well, I'm figuring Tony La Russa is going to adjust the rotation, so if they have to go to Denver again this year, Kyle will pitch just the day before. He gave up 11. The only time he's had a bad game was when they went to Denver this year. There's Remlinger up in the bullpen just in case the Padres turn this into something serious. Nevin with a check swing. The appeal. No swing, says Mike Winters. 3-0 to Nevin. He's the Padres' big home run man, and the other big one, Ryan Klesko, is right behind him. 3-0 to Nevin. So McMichael is on the verge of getting into a lot more trouble than he was hoping for. Here's Klesko. 3-0 the count. 3-1. Anything can happen nowadays in baseball since that solar flare of the star Beetlejuice. The lowered gravitational field. And it's a walk.
So what you're saying is this 6-run lead is not necessarily a safe lead.
Well, because of the solar flare, now more than ever, walks when you're leading by a big score will kill you. Here comes Bobby Cox. He's got the pulled hamstring muscle. It's hampering him a little bit. He's got the left-handed Remlinger up in the bullpen for the left-handed batting. Ryan Klesko. And there's the call. So he's bringing in his top left-handed reliever other than Rocker, the closer. Bases loaded. 7-1 Atlanta. We'll be back.
Think something that small can't hurt your car? Even smaller carbon deposits can clog your car's fuel injectors. So use Gum Out Extra Fuel Injector Cleaner to get rid of deposits for smoother overall performance. And did I mention better acceleration?
Drive your fuel injectors clean with Gum Out Extra.
Junior, how's it going?
Fine, how are you?
Got to see the glove.
For what?
I got to see it for regulations.
Yeah.
Dee, 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 dee. Wow.
There's an easier way to get Ken Griffey Jr.'s glove. Get the same Rawlings gloves that more top pros wear, personalized with your name, exclusively from DSports.com and Dick's Sporting Goods. DSports.com. Seize the D.
You know, that's the third glove I've lost this week.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Culligan Man.
You hear it at 743 Hickory Street.
Yeah.
You hear it above the din.
Hey, Culligan Man.
You hear it among the quiet. It's the sound of Culligan water being delivered to your door.
Get a great deal on bottled water with our exclusive web offer online at Culligan.com.
Sports Center, right after the ball game, Dan Patrick and Trey Wingo are there. They're in place. The script is polished, ready to go. The highlights, everything. This could be one of the great Sports Centers of the month. Okay. I'm not going to go out and
you
say something
go too far.
Rash. Because there's so many great ones.
I thought maybe you were going to say since the solar Beetlejuice thing happened.
It has no effect on Sports Center.
Oh, okay.
They're good regardless of the strength of the gravitational field. Mike Remlinger. John Rocker does get up in the bullpen. Here's Rocker getting loose just in case. We need a couple of more base runners to bring the possible tying run to the plate here. Ryan Klesko against the Braves now. He has grounded out twice and popped out once. Bases loaded, one out. Slider for a strike. Remlinger was just a great addition to this Atlanta bullpen last year. By the time we saw the Braves in the postseason, it was almost a two-man bullpen. Remlinger and Rocker were the guys that Cox wanted to use almost exclusively. Check swing. That slider missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Remlinger's also got a little pop in his fastball.
Well, he's a good guy to bring a guy in and get a left-handed hitter out, and also to pitch an inning or so.
1-1 the count. Too low. 2-1. T.Glavine tonight, 8 innings, 1 run, 3 hits allowed. That after his 9-inning complete game, 3-hit shutout of the Dodgers last Tuesday. Glavine's earned run average tonight dropped to 1.8. 2-1 to Klesko. Back into the crowd. I think he got away with one right there. That pitch.
Well, I think it was
pretty sad.
I think it was up just enough that he couldn't get the bat up to it.
And before tonight, Glavine was 4-0 with a 1.95 ERA. The ERA is down to 1.80. Remlinger needs 2 more outs for Glavine's official record to move to 5-0. He went upstairs with that fastball, and Klesko went up after it. 2-2. Only once before in their history since the start of the 20th century has an Atlanta pitcher, or not Atlanta, but a Braves pitcher. They used to play in Boston. They used to play in Milwaukee. In all those years, only one time did a Braves pitcher win 5 games in April. That was Rick Mailer in 1985. The Braves in their history since the dawning of the 20th century are 2 outs away from equaling their all-time consecutive victory record, 13. But now it's 3-2 to Klesko.
Good job by Klesko to lay off and get this count to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if he's ever going to see one to hit, this is the one with a 6-run lead. Klesko, who's been at his best in bases loaded situations over the years. 3-2 the count. Brett Boone on deck. Down the right field line, into the corner. Fair ball. Martin scores. Owen scores. Nevin stops at third. A 2-run double for Klesko. 7-3 Atlanta.
And Johnny didn't throw him a fastball. He gave him a breaking ball, and Klesko ripped it down into the corner. 3-2 breaking ball, and he hooked it. Now watch, this is a breaking ball. Not a bad one, but it's down, and Klesko, good low ball hitter, rips it into the corner. 2-run score.
So now Brett Boone comes up. If he can get on base, the Padres would actually have a chance to bring up the possible tying run. Strike on the outside. Boone did not like the call. 7-3 now. Those 2 runs charged to McMichael. The runner at third, Nevin, belongs to McMichael. Sterling Hitchcock still out there in the dugout long after he was removed from the game. Center field, Andrew Jones in the big part of the ballpark, all the way to the warning track. Both runners tag up. Nevin in to score. Klesko over to third. And it is 7-4. Atlanta. RBI for Boone. They still need to get somebody else on base. And Carlos Hernandez comes up, and Ed Sprague, a powerful right-handed hitter, comes out on deck. So if Hernandez can get aboard, Sprague would take a shot at tying it up. And when you come into the 9th inning of a ball game down by 6, you can't ask for anything more than just a chance to send the tying run to the plate. Hernandez 1 for 3. That's a strike, and it's 0-1. Here's Sprague on deck. And Sprague has hit extremely well for the Padres when he's played. But he's on deck. 2 down, 9th inning. 3 runs in. Ooh. Ball 1. Ball 1. See, I'm not umpiring now.
Okay, good.
Get on me now.
Bruce wouldn't like that.
Klesko at third. 2 down. Broken bat. Chipper Jones. And the ball game is over. And Atlanta equals its franchise record with 13 consecutive wins, and Glavine is 5-0.
Well, John, the new element of speed added to this Braves lineup helped them stay in the ball game, and then the power took over in the latter innings. But this is a very good Braves ball club.
It was a tight one, and they broke it open in the 8th inning. Atlanta has won 13 in a row. They're headed for L.A. Next week, we hope that you will join us. We'll be at Dodger Stadium for Sunday Night Baseball. The Astros meet the Dodgers. SportsCenter is next. Now, this is John Miller for Joe Morgan. Thanks for tuning in. The final again was 7-4 Atlanta. SportsCenter coming up. Good night from San Diego.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.